Welcome to the ZenRUN Podcast. I am so glad you're here. Each week we dive into the real, raw and often unexpected journeys of everyday runners. Because every runner has a story and every story has the power to inspire. If you've got a running story of your own, whether you're just lacing up for the first time or you're deep into your ultra journey, I'd love to hear it. Sharing your experience might be just the thing that someone else needs to get out the door. And hey, if you're looking for a bit of motivation or just want to keep your running fun and stress-free, check out ZenRUN. It's a relaxed space with guided runs, simple training plans, and monthly challenges to help you stay consistent without the pressure. All right, let's jump into this week's story. It's a good one. Today on the podcast, I'm chatting with Chris Atkinson, who I met over in Western Australia at Delirious West this year. Now, Chris is a teacher, a lifelong runner, a trail lover, originally from New Zealand and now living up in Cairns, and he also happens to have won the 2026 Delirious West 200 miler, as you do. This was Chris's first 200-mile race, and he went into it thinking maybe around 80 hours sounded reasonable. Instead, he managed knee pain, hallucinations, getting lost, no sleep at all, and still finished first in 67 hours and 30 minutes. But what I loved about this conversation is that it's not just a race recap. We talk about Chris's whole running journey, from growing up in a tiny town in New Zealand to school athletics, rugby, trail running, teaching, family, Europe, Hong Kong, Cairns, and of course, Delirious. Chris has such a calm and thoughtful way of talking about running. He shares some beautiful lessons about running your own race, letting people help you, staying flexible, and why getting outside in nature is one of the best things we can do for our mental and physical well-being. And we also talk about Fred, who may just become your new running inspiration. So grab a cuppa or lace up your shoes. It's time to settle in for a lovely long chat with Chris Atkinson. Today on the ZenRUN Podcast, I am excited to introduce a new friend that I met at Delirious this year, Chris Atkinson. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm very good. I was looking at your surname and I keep wanting to say Atkins for some reason. I don't want to put the O and the N on the end. It's funny how we do that. Things when we read stuff. Anyway, I'm great. Thank you for agreeing to come on the podcast. It was delightful to meet you in Western Australia. I know Nicola and I really enjoyed hanging out and having chats at the finish line. So thank you for being there. We will get to your Delirious experience. But before we do, let's start, as I always do with these interviews, with a little bit about your background. Tell me where you grew up, that kind of stuff. What was your childhood like?
I grew up in New Zealand. So I grew up at the bottom of the South Island. So
beautiful.
Small town. Just one kind of petrol station, one pub, one shop. It was a pretty small place. So there wasn't a whole heap to do apart from running, playing rugby. That was compulsory. And probably just fishing. Yeah.
Sounds delightful. As we get
older.
It
was a pretty neat childhood.
I love it.
So I went to the primary school. There's, I don't know, maybe 80 students at the primary school. So
that's smaller than the King Island primary school that I went to in the little island of Tassie.
Oh my goodness. How many people lived in King Island?
About 1,000. Yeah,
oh wow.
1,000.
Yeah. It's I was probably about twice the size or almost twice the size of the town I grew up in.
There you go. See, that's it. Yeah. Everybody knew everybody, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Which is both good and bad.
It is. It's kind of very, I don't know. It is good, but I think I was explaining to someone the other day in King Island, you can't, if you want to go to the shop to get milk, you have to leave at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours because everybody you see wants to stop and have half an hour chat. It's just, it takes forever.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
sure it was
know.
the same for you.
Yeah. And once you get to the shop, there's only so many loaves of bread and bottles of milk and like,
That's
yeah,
right.
until the next day. So yeah,
Exactly.
no, it was pretty neat place to grow up.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got a brother.
Yeah.
He's living in Christchurch now,
Yeah.
so he's a younger brother.
Yeah.
He never really got into running. My whole family was kind of like cycling mad, so
So they're still sporty then?
just
Don't-
yeah, they're always like down at the velodrome or in town,
Oh,
like competing. Yeah, uncles and cousins and my brother, they're all like heavily into cycling.
so were you? Did you do that as well a little bit?
No, had
Oh,
no
you're
interest in cycling. So
black
I,
sheep
I
of the
don't
family.
know. I had an uncle. One uncle was a runner,
Yeah.
uh, and he would go out and he would do like trail ultras.
Yeah.
This was like it was a long time ago. Like he ran the Kepler Challenge when it came out. So I'm not sure how old that race is now, but
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So
Before it was cool to be a trail runner.
yeah, yeah, I know. I know. It's still quite niche, but the sport is really growing, especially in New Zealand with Tarawera in the North
Oh,
Island.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
totally.
yeah,
I don't know. I think I probably surround myself with mostly trail runners now, and I just feel like everybody trail runs now. When they never used to, and it's been such a big insurgence in the last few years. But
yeah, it has. Like I did a race in Europe a couple of years ago, and I got on a plane in Dubai to go to Geneva, and the whole plane was full of trail runners.
wow.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. And everyone had the Garmins on, everyone was wearing the Hokas, everyone had all the gear on, and you were just kind of surrounded like for the next kind of like 10 days by trail runners.
Oh,
So it was pretty neat.
they probably all heard if they had all those things on in the plane, they would have heard that tip. What was it? Anything you want to run with, take it with you as your carry on, just in case
Yeah,
you lose your
yeah,
bag.
yeah, absolutely. Everyone would have had their like full race gear on, in the plane and the overhead lockers.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, so that was pretty interesting actually going to Europe and seeing like in the week sort of leading up to the race, just going out on the trails and seeing like families run on the trails together
Yeah, it's
as
different,
like
isn't it?
an
Yeah.
activity. So yeah, it was really neat to go to a place where trail running was huge.
Oh, you have to tell me more about that in a minute. Um, as a kid, running was your sport versus rather than cycling, from what you just said.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
ran at school. That was, I
Yeah,
assume in
yeah,
New
primary
Zealand,
school.
school's the same as here, like that they that make. I say they make you run, but it's part of PE. Like you're supposed to go to carnival and you're supposed to do cross
Yeah,
country kind of stuff.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we did all that sort of stuff, cross country, like little athletics carnivals. I had a great teacher, I guess, my last 2 years at primary school who just used to send us out running, like on an afternoon. And he would say, okay, go down to this road, come back that road, and like we'd come back kind of like half an hour later after running, I don't know, 3 or 4K
Oh wow.
along sort of dirt roads and trails and whatnot. And we'd have like no supervision. He'd be like sitting there at his desk when we got back. But yeah, they were different times.
Wow. And
Yeah.
it's funny because did you enjoy that? Was that like something
Oh,
you
I
were happy
loved
to
it.
do?
Running was my thing.
Was
Um,
was everybody in the class happy to be heading off for a run like
no,
that? No.
no, no, but like I guess, yeah, stuff was just like a lot different to today, you
It
know.
is totally.
Yeah, I remember the whole class, like all the boys in the class play rugby. And so we were
Yeah.
all on the same rugby team. So it'd all go to like training on like Tuesdays and Thursdays
Yeah.
after school, whatever it was. So we'd just all walk over from school to the rugby ground and we'd like be in the same team. And because there wasn't a whole heap to do,
Yeah.
there was the pub, there was the rugby ground, there
Yeah.
was a primary school. And so everyone just sort of did everything together.
It's like a
And
social
then,
thing too, isn't it?
yeah,
Community
it was
element.
really social. But yeah, no, I love running. So I think mum and dad realized that like I needed to go a little bit further running. So they took me into town, and I joined the club when I was
What was
about
town? What is town? Do you know?
town was Invercargill. So that's like the southernmost city in like New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was probably only about 10 years old and I
Yeah.
joined the St. Paul's Athletics Club. And then, oh yeah, just my whole world opened up really. Like I met town, kids, and then we'd, go around the province competing in little kind of athletics carnivals on Saturdays. And then we got the chance to do bigger stuff like the South Island champs and the New Zealand champs and represent your province and
Oh
like
wow.
do interprovincial. So it was pretty neat.
Is it mostly track stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was really just doing 8 and 1500, they were my events, but like you had to do everything. Like, yeah, but not like competitively, but like on a club night, you had to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, that sounds fun. How far was it from your little town to big town?
I was only half an hour.
Okay.
Oh,
Then
it
not too
wasn't
far.
very far.
It's
Yeah.
funny in New Zealand you call it town. Like we call it town too. Like if I'm going to town, I'm going to Launceston. And if I was on King Island, if I said I'm going to town, I'd be go to Curry, which is a little town, a tiny
Oh
town.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
fun. I've been to other parts of the world where they have another term for it. Yeah, so it's just interesting that in New Zealand you also use the word town when you're
Yeah.
referring to the nearest, biggest place that you're
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah.
All right. So at school, did you have success? Obviously, running was something you enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did really well. Represented a province and I had some age group records and like went to the South Islands and did pretty well and went to the nationals and did pretty well, got like on the podium.
Mhm.
So did very well. And then I guess as I went through secondary school, kind of rugby took over. I was more
Yeah.
kind of into rugby and then uh, probably got back into running at university where I was doing that cross country and sort of playing rugby. And then I guess when I was in my mid-20s, when I sort of left university, I had a rugby injury.
Mhm.
So I couldn't really do too much for, I guess, a period of time. And I couldn't really go back to playing rugby after that. So I just went, back to running and I haven't really kind of stopped since then.
All right, let's do some non-running chat for a minute. What did you do at uni? Where did you go to uni? Give me some of that background.
Oh my
So
goodness,
people know who
this is
Chris
pretty
is.
in depth.
Not just a runner. What else? We know that you've had
Okay, so
runners,
at
cycling.
university, like I did a science degree and then I left university and I worked for a multinational detergent company. So I worked in Wellington and then I worked in Sydney. And then,
Is that how you got to Australia through that company?
well, oh man, this is really going
I know
back in
it's
time.
exciting. That's how we fill
I
the
know.
hours because
Yeah.
neither of us are spring chickens, and life has happened, and lots of cool things happen in there.
Yeah, I know it's been such a journey. Like in my last year at university, actually just prior to my last year, I did a scholarship to the ANU in Canberra.
Yeah.
So that was just a 3 month kind of
Mhm.
like sabbatical type thing. So I went over there, and so that was kind of like my first time I'd kind of been to Australia. And then at the same college, doing the same kind of sabbatical program was like my now wife. So,
Oh, that's
and she
so
was from
cool.
Tasmania.
What? Did I know
Yeah,
that? Did I know you?
yeah,
I might have picked that up somewhere in the last little bit.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
so
so
cool.
we
The
sort of
best people from
connected.
Tasmania. Sorry.
Yeah,
Moving on.
yeah. I agree.
That's
So we
awesome.
sort of connected there, and then we kind of went our separate ways for a few years, and then got back together. I guess in our early 30s.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
And by
and
then you'd come to Australia.
I'd worked in Australia, went back to New Zealand, and then what did I do after that? I
I don't know.
actually had
What
had
did you
enough of
do?
working for the company.
Yeah.
This is going back a fair few years, and I thought, right, I need a bit of a break. So I went back to Australia.
Like all New Zealanders do when they want a break, they come to Australia.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was just
yeah.
a joke.
I bought it like an HZ, like 1977 Holden Kingswood, and like I filled it up with stuff, and I just drove around Australia.
Typical New Zealand activity.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
And then when I was on the Great Barrier Reef, I met, because I didn't know really what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
and so I was kind of like just chilling out, and I met some teachers on the Great Barrier Reef. And I was talking to them and they seemed like decent people.
Weird.
And they said, have you thought about teaching? And I went, oh, no, I haven't thought about teaching. And so they kind of just planted a seed. And by the time I ran out of money, which was, I guess, in a place called Port Hedland, which is in northwest
Western Australia.
Western Australia.
I've been there.
Oh, I might go down to university and just do my graduate diploma. And I did that for a year. And then I went teaching in Mora, north of Perth.
Oh, wow.
Which is about, I don't know, a couple of hours drive north of Perth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of worked my way back into the CBD area. So I worked out in the hills at Eastern Hills Senior High School at Mount Helena near Mundaring.
As a science teacher?
I was a science teacher there.
You might have done other teaching, I don't know.
Yeah, I was a science teacher there. And then I found a job at Guildford Grammar, which was kind of like closer to the CBD, and that was kind of down the hill. And so I worked there for a little while. And then I reconnected with my wife, and she was living in Melbourne.
I was going to say she'd be on the other side of the country for sure.
Yeah, she was on the other. She didn't know where I was. So she wrote my parents in New Zealand a letter saying, can you please like forward this to this person?
So cute. I love that.
I know. And I can still remember like receiving the letter, getting it out of the mailbox, reading it and going, oh, I think I recognize that handwriting.
It's like, can you, like, if you want to try and find someone now, you literally just open your computer and we Facebook or I don't know, Instagram, we do whatever. And quite quickly you can get close anyway. But you forget just what you had to go through in order to reconnect with people, only 15 years ago, probably 20 years ago.
I know. And mobile phones haven't been around that long.
No.
Like when we knew each other way back in university, there was no such thing as a mobile phone.
Oh, my gosh. That's so cute.
It's pretty hard.
How many children do you have, Chris?
Oh, just one.
So do you tell your child that all the time? Do you tell them the story about how you two met? It's so cool. Like how you reconnected. It's very cute.
I don't know if he knows the kind of like the full deal.
It's really cool. It's gorgeous. Really romantic. So you get the letter.
Romantic.
You can remember opening this letter. And she's on one side of Australia and you're on the other.
Yeah.
But the letter must have gone to New Zealand first. It went to another country first. It somehow found you in Western Australia. Oh my God,
my parents had kind of lived in that house for donkey's years. So they're obviously still at the same address. And then they, just forwarded it over.
Oh, it's so lovely. I mean, it takes a lot longer. Everything takes longer, obviously, longer than the post took.
I know. But
so you get this letter. What is your first thing? What do you do?
Oh, I've still got it.
That's so cute too.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and read it. But obviously there were some contact details in there, so I guess I must have, rung Dee and just said, "Hey, let's kind of meet up." And then before
where did you meet? Like in the Nullarbor?
No, across? No, Dee said, "Oh, look, I'll sort of fly over," and I went, "Okay." And we just reconnected, and it was just like no time had passed.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, it is a pretty neat story.
It's a really neat
it's one of those things that was meant to be.
I love it. And then what did you didn't stay in Western Australia, did you?
No. I
don't think you live in Western Australia now. That was my
No, we live in Cairns. But Dee said, "Oh, look, can you?" I said, "Well, what are we going to do? Where are we going to live?"
Facebook hasn't been invented yet. If you go away now, it may take longer to catch up with you again. And
she said, "Well, I I don't fancy going to Perth because her family is kind of like on the East Coast. Her mum and dad are in Hobart, all that sort of stuff. So I said, okay, I'll move. And so I remember walking into my principal's office and said, hey, look, something's come up. I'm leaving at the end of the year. And he said, oh, I can understand. Good luck. And I moved to Melbourne.
I like Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne's
Yeah.
fine. It's close
Have
to
you lived in Melbourne?
I was actually born there, but I was 6 months when I left Melbourne. So I claim to be from Melbourne, but I only lived there 6 months. I have lived in outside of Melbourne for longer periods, like Cranbourne and Hastings. I've lived there briefly. Oh, and Traralgon. I've lived up in the Latrobe Valley as well. So,
Oh yeah,
but not Melbourne. I do visit a lot because 3 of my 5 children live there, as well as my sister-in-law has been there forever as well. So we have lots of reasons to visit Melbourne. But no, I've never lived in Melbourne.
Yeah.
What did you like it? The fact you asked me that, I thought maybe you didn't like it.
No, I couldn't handle. I just couldn't handle Melbourne.
What
Like
was it
it was just like I just need like the outdoors, the trails. It just wasn't accessible. So and what's worse, my dog hated it.
Oh no! Well, that's a deal breaker right there.
It's a deal breaker. Like she used to sleep in the car as if like to say, let's get out of here.
Come on, where are we going?
Yeah, I know. So my wife had been working at her like organization for 10 years. So she said, yeah, I'm done. Let's sort of move down to Tasmania.
So what did she do? Sorry to.
She worked for the Productivity Commission. So she was kind of like in a really important big job.
Yeah.
But she said, look, I've just had enough because she'd been there 10 years and she'd kind of been doing her thing with dancing. She was like right into Latin dancing and ballroom dancing and athletics. Like my wife's a runner as well. Yes. So she was involved with the Glen Huntly Athletics Club and she's still got contacts with Glen Huntly and whatnot. So we just got on the plane and went down to Tassie.
Where did you come to? I don't remember seeing you. Or did I?
No, well, we were there for, geez.
Because Tassie's so small, of course.
I know. Like the running community is pretty small.
It is.
And I remember the cross countries and whatnot on like Saturdays and, the same old people turning up. And it was lovely. It was just lovely just going around the different places near Hobart and going to all these kind of runs and
Mount Wellington, all the trails.
Yeah, and just beautiful trails. It was like, man, this place is neat. So we stayed there for about 5.5 years.
So what years were you in Hobart?
We were there 2003 to 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, it was around. Yeah, it's probably around those years.
I was right here where I am now.
Sitting in the same spot.
I know. I had somebody come to the house today and they tried to find it on Google and they said, I can't find it. I said, it's definitely on Google. I've been here for almost 35 years. It's definitely on Google. Anyway, that's how long I've been here. I have come and gone and I've lived other places, but we bought, just a short story. My mum and my grandmother bought 40 acres and 2 houses. And then my first husband and I bought one of the houses. And then eventually when I got with my second, with Simon, about 25 years ago, we bought the big house. So I now own the big house and 20 acres, but it's been in my family for, I don't know, since I was 21.
Oh, wow.
And I'm now 57. So I've sort of been here in some shape or other for a long time.
What do you do with the 20 acres?
We watch the kangaroos and the rabbits run around and we have chickens. We have had horse here and a few things in the past, but we don't have anything here right now. We have a bit of bush and a paddock out the back. That's better.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
It is. It's nice. During COVID, Simon talked about putting a path just around the very edge of our bush so that we could just, and then someone else, once backyard ultras became a thing that we knew about. Well, I've had people go, oh, you could turn it into a backyard ultra. I'm like, I have no idea. Like it would be lots of zigzag, but 20 acres isn't that much when it comes to a backyard ultra. you couldn't just go around the perimeter, I don't think, and get 6.7K.
Yeah.
You're a scientist. Do that maths for me.
Good. Like you could, you could do it.
You'd have to do lots of zigzaggy things, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't just
Yeah.
use the perimeter of the property, I
No.
don't think.
But I mean, or you could just run around multiple times.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And we're on a hill. It looks over the Tamar River and up to the mountains on the other side. So it is very pretty. We have lots of trees that have grown up a lot. We don't see as much of the river as we used to, but that's where I am.
Wow. It's idyllic down in Tasmania.
It is lovely. So why did you move?
So we went back to New Zealand. I hadn't been back to New Zealand for quite a while, so far out. But anyway, so we went back to the South Island. We were in Christchurch for the earthquakes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's not why you went. You didn't think, oh, this earthquake's coming, we should go.
No, but like we were there for the earthquakes.
Oh, wow.
So that was like a bit of an adventure. We were there for, geez, how long? Holy moly, maybe 2008, end of 2008 to 2015.
Oh, a little while then.
Yeah, a little while, or 2014, anyway, around those dates.
Why did you decide to go back to New Zealand? Like
I
family
guess,
stuff or just
yeah,
feet
I guess it was just
adventure?
I like when I originally went to Australia, it was just for a bit of a drive around in my car, a bit of a holiday, and it just turned into like this huge kind of, I don't know how many years I was there, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
And I felt the need to just kind of like, you know, get back home and just do some neat stuff at home.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, we'll go through different phases of our lives and
absolutely.
And yeah, sometimes you just want to do some different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bit of adventure. So did you teach there? Did you teach in Hobart as well?
I was teaching in Hobart. I taught in Christchurch. So from there we moved up to the North Island. I had another job in the Bay of Plenty, taught there.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, that was a really neat place. And then moved across to Hamilton and taught it. I hadn't taught at an all-girls school, so I thought that would be a pretty neat opportunity to teach in a school in Hamilton, which turned out to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, the girls are like amazing. They were so good. Like they were so well behaved. Like Sundays, I'd be a little bit late to class and they would let themselves in and they would like sit down and they'd be working when I got in the door.
Look, you may not know, but I was once a teacher and did a lot of relief teaching. Anyway, a little earlier on, like a long time ago, and I would teach in lots of public schools, like a lot of relief teaching in public schools. And then I got a gig in the grammar school here, which is, one of the top private schools here in Launceston and in Tasmania. And it was like that. It was like, what? Like I'd gone from, not there's anything wrong with public schools, but the kids, they certainly weren't super well behaved all the time, and you had to tell them what to do and when to do it. Yeah. Whereas I'd get in there and I think I was there for a couple of weeks and I hardly had to do anything really, and they told me what needed to happen next. I think we go to recess now, Miss. We have to clean up the pencils before we go. That's why I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
that's a dream.
I know, it was crazy. It's like, oh. And mobile phones weren't really around then, so I didn't have anything to do while I wasn't teaching.
Well, the kids are just becoming more and more distracted with phones.
Yeah,
it's just become a totally different job with like that sort of technology. But I guess most schools these days have just told the kids, look, you just need to leave the phones at home or in your lockers. So
that's a pretty.
Don't see as many phones these days.
Yeah, it's interesting. The other thing I used to do, for a little while, I shared a class with my mum, a year 3, 4, and in a more troubled suburb of Launceston. And so there was a couple of kids there who just used to always get into trouble. So we'd take them for a run. I would take them for a run because I was a runner still. And that would wear them out a bit, and they would be always trying to beat me. And they had no hope because they were just little kids. And I'd been racing for a few years by then. Yeah. So it gave them anyway something to aim for, and it kind of wore them out and got them moving. So anyway, that's how I dealt with that. So you're in New Zealand. You got to teach at a girls' school, which you said was delightful.
Oh, it was great. So how long was I there for? I was there for maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And then my son was kind of graduating from high school. And then like my wife and I just decided to come back to Australia.
Was he was he
Just
born in Tasmania,
he
in
was, yeah, he was born
Victoria, or
in
in
Tasmanian Hospital in Hobart.
He's
So
Tasmanian then. He's not
he's
Australian or
Tasmanian.
New Zealander.
Even though he's kind of, he must be a little bit mixed up now. He's like a Tasmanian kid who was brought up in New Zealand. He's now
In Adelaide.
in South Australia. So I don't know how he's coping with that socially.
I'm sure he'll work it out.
Yeah, but he's doing well.
That's awesome. Anyway, so you came back to Australia with your
Came back to
kids.
Australia, yeah, and so we just wanted to just do something different and just go on to the next part of our journey. And so we kind of found ourselves up here in Cairns. There was a job going here, so why not? I mean, it seems like a pretty nice place, and we've been up here for, I guess, over 2 years now. This is going into our third year.
It's a retirement place, Chris. Did you know that?
Well, probably not the,
Probably
I
not
guess
really.
it's a tourist town.
Yeah, it is a tourist town.
I guess I haven't really noticed, like, I guess too many old people. We're kind of like we're south of the CBD, so we're like 30 minutes south. And so we're kind of like surrounded by a national park, and we're out in the country really.
Yeah.
So we don't we're not really in town at all.
And how do you cope with the weather?
Oh, the weather's like, it can get a bit hot and stuff, and a bit rainy. But the rain's fine. I like the rain. Makes the grass grow. And then yeah, like it's still raining. Like, I don't know, what is it, mid-May now, and it's still raining. So it's going to start like petering out soon. But yeah, no, it's lovely. I love the trails here. They're beautiful.
I have heard that. Like, I actually haven't been to Cairns, but we go to Noosa every winter for the last few years. We're like those grey nomads in Tasmania that head north, but only because the people that I work for go away and they ask us to come and house sit for them. So we have a reason to go, which is very, very nice. But we are feeling a bit like those Tasmanians who leave as winter starts to bite here and head north into Queensland.
Do you like Noosa?
It's actually the Noosa North Shore. Have you been there?
No.
So it's not in Noosa proper. It's on the other side of the mouth of the river. You have to go on a ferry to get there and everything. So, but it's very close to Noosa. We paddle across in kayaks to have coffee and stuff.
Wow.
It takes about 10 minutes for me to paddle to Gympie Terrace, which is kind of one of the main streets, and about 15 to get to Hastings Street, which is the main kind of posh drag. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. We're back onto a national park, and we can go running and stuff through the national park and on the beaches and things there. And then we can go into the madness and tourism focused areas of Noosa if we want, via a kayak, which is quite pleasant. That bit's quite pleasant.
That's a beautiful way to get around.
It is. It's quite lovely. I do quite enjoy it. Anyway, hopefully we'll be doing it again in July this year. We'll see when it gets cold here.
How is the weather down there?
Right now it's actually not too bad. We had a cold snap, but I think all of Australia seemed to have a cold snap briefly. Oh, okay. Kind of when we were in Western Australia, there was a bit of a cold snap. It was a bit cold on a couple of nights while we were there. Which was a bit weird. Yeah. And then, but now I think it was 19 today. So that's quite warm for Tassie, as you know. Yeah. It's still getting down to like 3 or whatever overnight. And I do have the heater on behind me. All right. This is a podcast about running. So I've kind of worked a way out through your life, which is what I wanted to do. So now people have a bit of a background of who Chris is, regardless of what his running, pedigree is or what you've done with your running. So now let's go back a bit. And running, has that followed you through all of this journey that you told us about with your life? All the time. Once your rugby injury kicked in and you couldn't, do rugby anymore. That's what you were saying, and then you kind of started running or kept running from there on.
Well, I kept running. Like I was out of doing anything apart from just swimming for 2 years. So, yeah, I guess not being able to run was really frustrating during that time. And so it was just lovely to get back running. I was living in Wellington at the time, and like Wellington, I'm not sure if you've been there, but it's wonderful in terms of trail running. So really steep hills, lovely, like lush green bush, beautiful views, beautiful harbour.
I've done a tiny bit of walking in the South Island on the Heafy track and the Paparoa, and then driven down to the one that past Mount Cook and then down to Queenstown.
Wow,
that's about all I've done. That was just
you've seen some good stuff.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
it's like Tasmania on steroids. That's how I describe it. with no furry animals. That was the weirdest thing when you're hiking and like you don't have furry animals like around.
And there's no snakes
either. Like
no snakes.
I didn't even see a leech. I did see those midgy things, which we have in this as well. The flies. Yeah. We had those in the Heafy track.
They're terrible.
They're horrible. Yeah. I got bitten by those. But that was the only thing that was like nasty of any sort.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a pretty safe country to run around. Like you're not going to get attacked by too many things.
No.
Like when you're running in New Zealand, if you sort of like I don't know, you feel like you're getting kind of bitten by something and you look down at your leg or your arm, chances are there's nothing there. You're imagining it. But like if you're running around Australia and you feel like you're getting bitten by something and you look down at your arm or your leg, there'll be something hanging off it, like for dear life, trying to take you out.
Snake or a crocodile.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird insect that you've never seen in your life, and you'll go, what is that?
Yeah, we're really making tourists want to come in Australia. They already think everything here wants to kill them.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
I know. So, yeah.
What kind of running were you doing in New Zealand? Sorry, Chris. What kind of running were you doing?
Oh, just everything. Like I was running, I was running for a club. I've run for lots of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So like I love cross country, just trail races like around New Zealand. So I've done lots of smaller trail races. I've done, Tarawera, the 100K, the 100 mile. Just lots and lots of running.
Can you remember how did you go from like normal distances, whatever that is, 10 to a marathon, into ultra distances? What was the trigger that made you do that, or did it feel like a natural progression? The people you were hanging out with, or I don't know.
I don't know what got me into it. Like I remember running, even when I was in Tasmania, I think I ran a marathon there. But I guess I just like outgrew marathons, and I think I was getting injured more and more running for my club, and I was getting frustrated with like having 2 or 3 injuries a season and only having like 4 or 5 good races. And I was thinking, this really sucks. So I spent more and more time on the trails, and then you meet more and more trail runners, and then like before you know it, you're just running on the trails, and you're not running for the club as much, and you're doing more trail races, and you're doing longer runs because there are longer runs out there. And so, and you're not getting injured apart from just falling over. And I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I just love running on the trails. I think I just love the quiet of running on the trails and just being in the bush and meeting people, of course, but it's less competitive. It's just more kind of soulful. It's just more gentle. And I just really, really love it.
So what's some of your favorite trail runs you've done?
Oh, I would say Delirious would be one of my favorites. Like that's a crazy little race, but it'd be
How
one
many
of my
times have you done it?
Once.
You've only done it once?
Yeah. So the one I did last month. For lots of different reasons. I guess a lot of the runs I've done have been like every race has physical and mental challenges, and some races have more physical challenges and less mental challenges. And I guess I felt that Delirious had both.
Mm.
And I felt that the physical challenges kind of crept up on you as well as the mental challenges. I felt like it was a slow burn, and it just got more interesting as the race progressed,
Mm-hmm.
and you became more and more fatigued, and you thought more and more about different stuff going on in your head. And so that was kind of like, it was interesting to kind of play around with that over a longer period of time. There was less pressure to solve things like instantaneously. You still had to solve things, but you had time in your hands to recover during the race. It was just more complex, and I found that kind of more rewarding in the end. Like there were lots and lots of different phases of the race. Whereas if you do like 100K, 100K is like a relatively short race where one thing might happen to you,
Yeah.
and you might overcome that, and then you like get to the end.
Mm.
And there's not a whole heap of time in 100K. Like you can finish one of those in, a reasonable amount of time. You don't have to necessarily run through a complete 24 hours to run 100K,
No.
but like running through like several cycles of sun up, sundown, like body rhythms, temperature changes,
Yeah.
not knowing if you're going to finish, getting lost, having food issues, like
Yeah.
injury, dealing
Weather.
with that, weather. It's just like
Sleep.
sleep, lack of sleep, hallucinations, all that sort of stuff. I mean, that race has got it all.
But do you want to talk about Delirious now? It's very fresh in your mind, isn't it?
We could.
I'm more than happy to talk about Delirious. Obviously, that seems to be what all I do for 6 months of the year, which is obviously I love it. So I have no problem at all talking about Delirious. I would like to know about some of your other events that you've done too, but we can talk about Delirious now, and we can circle back. There's no rules here. It's my podcast. So we can do it any way we like. Tell me about, why did you enter Delirious?
I've always wanted to do a 200 miler. And like being a school teacher, I have to kind of like choose these kind of school holiday type races. Yeah. And so I was like all prepared to like go to the States and love to do something like Cocodona, Bigfoot, something.
Nicola reckons we should do that. Like, really?
Oh my goodness. I would leave my job, I reckon, to do that race.
I found someone who'll do it, Nick.
Yeah. Like if we do the lottery, let's do it next year. Like if we get in, let's get a crew together and like fly over and do that race.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Could you stop watching that? Like
I know. Well, I was kind of, well, first I had to start watching it because Nicola wouldn't stop sending me updates, and I was like, I'll watch it myself, Nick. I'm watching, especially because of the girl Rachel, who what she was doing was pretty incredible. So yeah,
it's been interesting listening to her on the podcast since then.
Yeah.
Just like how she coped with the race and how she approached it, and what people thought of her before the race and after the race, and it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Great to see. I'm glad. I'm so glad she won and broke the record.
It is awesome. So this was your first 200?
Yeah, first 200. So went into it like not knowing how it was going to go. Like I work with a nutritionist from South Australia, so Erin Colbatch from Ultra Appetites. So I've done some work with her just to get my kind of nutrition right. And like I had a meeting with her like in February, and I said, well, what do you think I should do? Because I knew how to like fuel for like a shorter race, like 100K or 100 miler, but I wasn't too sure how, like what sort of protein I needed and all that sort of stuff. So I kind of started preparing quite early on for the challenge and did a lot of preparation over December and January, just kind of like planning out stuff. My wife was crewing me in terms of driving routes and getting some kind of plan together, like on a spreadsheet. Not that I'm really big on plans. I thought it would be more helpful for my wife to have like, well, here are some go-to like food options that you maybe suggest to me when I'm at a food station. And
my brain doesn't work.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work right now. But it was, as it turned out, that that went really, really well. But like, I was just curious in terms of like, well, could I do it? You know, could I get to 200 miles? That's a long way. Like I've run 100 miles and that seemed pretty hard. Like, could I do 200 miles? Um, I'd love to have a go and find out.
Yeah.
And I've got no motivational problems like, you know, signing up to races or training or anything like that. So I knew I could like, you know, handle the training. But it was just like this new adventure that I thought I'd have a crack at.
It's like an exploration, isn't it? Not just physically, but mentally and with your whole body. It's kind of hard to explain. Like you're trying to work out just how far your body can go, given, you know, if everything is, you know, right at the right time with the things we can control.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you enter and then you do some training and you get some nutritional advice and
Yeah, get rid of that. I structure my races, uh, just using like some software in terms of like my pacing and
mm-hmm.
you know, put in the GPX file and then it kind of spits out a few numbers. And I was like trying to play around with different kind of sleep like periods and when I would sleep and then like factoring that in there. And then I had no idea how long it would take me. So I just like put in there 80 hours because I looked up the results from last year and I thought 80 hours sounds reasonable. Like I'm probably going to be middle of the pack. So I'll just run conservatively and see if I can just get from one aid station to the next. So like I kind of planned conservatively and I thought, well, if I run a bit faster, so, you know, that's all good. If I run a bit slower, I can still get to the end. Training was fine. Like I was healthy. I didn't have any like issues through the training block. I'm pretty fit anyway. Like I didn't really need to do like a lot of training. And I guess,
specialist.
yeah, like the more like, because I'm pretty experienced and relatively old, like I know what I can get away with in terms of training and it's becoming less and less. I don't need to like run 5 days a week. I can do a day on the bike, a couple of days in the gym. So yeah, there's a lot more than just the physical preparation that I knew I could handle. And I was like trying to just cover all the bases, covering the nutrition, the hydration, and also covering like the problem solving type scenarios, what would happen if this happened. So going through lots of those kind of scenarios, getting the equipment ready, just doing as much as I could. Like I had all my gear out for like weeks and my wife was just so sick of it. Like it was just lying around the house.
I have it lying around usually in my
office. Yeah.
Oh.
And so like if I thought of something, like I would just get it out and I put it in the pile.
Yeah.
And there was just lots of that.
I totally get that.
Yeah. So,
especially because you're traveling as well. I mean, you have to do it anyway, but because you like us you had to travel. It's not like you just had to put it all in the car.
Yeah.
I don't think you drove over, did you?
No. I know someone drove over.
Yes.
That's a long way.
Sim drove over. Drove over. Yeah.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
So yeah, the preparation went well. It's just kind of trying to fit in training around the weather and school and just my wife broke her leg, so she broke her leg. Maybe in February, she was out running one day and she fell over. So she was in a moon boot for like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks. And so that was pretty tough on her.
That's an unusual like running accident.
Yeah, well, there's a new running store in Cairns called the Good Run, and she had been turning up on Friday mornings like quite early to go running with Cam on a group run, and she was just kind of like jogging back to the car. She'd finished the run, jogging back to the car, fell over, kind of like twisted her ankle badly, and then got an X-ray or MRI or whatever it was, and they said, yeah, there's a fracture there. So yeah, it's been pretty stressful for her since kind of like February, because she did the backyard ultra here in Cairns in October last year, and it was just so hot. It really kind of took it out of her in terms of like the electrolytes and just cramping and whatnot. So she'd been planning on doing the Adelaide one since then, and she like done so much preparation already. So like it was, I really kind of felt for her after she broke her sort of ankle or lower leg there. So so that was a little bit complicated, just kind of helping, with stuff and getting stuff done around here and fitting in training and
it's never a straight line.
No, it's never a straight line.
Look, never a straight line to the start line, and then once you start, it's also never a straight line.
Yeah, I know. Tell us about it.
I know. So you get to Western Australia. Well, we obviously know that you did get to Western Australia. Everything worked out. You got to the start line. How did your event go, Chris? Tell us a bit about the actual event.
Like the event, I kind of started off, like I started all my trail runs at the back. And so just started off at the back nice and slowly. And then just kind of, I don't know, just started working my way past people. My neutral kind of pace is reasonably fast.
Yeah.
Like I'm a better runner than I am a climber. So if I've just got like flattish land in front of me, I know my neutral pace is reasonable. So I ended up just kind of drifting up to the front.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to kind of like, what was the first day station? Chesapeake East, where my wife was, she goes, "Oh, you're in fourth." And I went, "Oh, okay." Because there aren't too many people in the race. And I thought,
40 or so, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought, 50. Man, there's got to be like a dozen people like in front of me. But anyway, I saw JP, the Mexican like guy. He was like leaving Dog Road as I got in there, and I thought, oh, okay, he's not too far away. So like I picked him up during daylight. I had a little chat with him because Jordan himself had gone out past me. So they kind of passed me going up to Chesapeake West, and they looked really good. And I thought, oh, geez, okay, probably won't see those guys again.
I just did a podcast with JP.
Oh,
by the way, this week, like yesterday, the day before.
Yeah,
anyway, it'll be out in a few weeks. Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
You'll be able to hear his version.
Yeah, like because I went past him and I said, "Oh, how you going?" And he went, "Look, I'm great." And I went, "Cool." So that was on the way to Pinjarra, and then I got to Pinjarra, and then Christian was there at the aid station, and I didn't know where Jordan was, and I don't think he knew where Jordan was either. But anyway, Christian and I ran together to Broke, and then I started developing like a knee pain. So by the time I got to Broke Inlet, I was pretty sore, and Christian was slowing down as well. He had a hip problem, so we got to Broke and had some soup, and it was raining and stuff there. And then I decided to get up. I'd got a bit cold, and I could just hardly walk. And so I thought, oh, geez, all right, I'm going to change out of these shoes, because I had like a pair of shoes on, which had like a built-in gaiter, and I thought, look, I'm going to wear these because like I've heard about the sand, so these are going to be the go-to. So I'm going to put these shoes on, and they weren't shoes I was used to running a long way in. Yeah. So they were not as stable as my normal running shoes. So I thought, right, I'm going to take these off and then get on top of this knee pain. And it didn't get any worse, but it didn't get any better. So Christian and I kind of started off out of Broke on the way to Mandalay. We caught up with Jordan. Jordan was just a few Ks actually out, and he ran with us for a little bit. And then I think Jordan must have been in the lead. I don't think there was anyone in front of Jordan. Okay. No, obviously not. So anyway, Jordan dropped off, and Christian and I ran through to Mandalay, and knee wasn't getting any better. And I said to Christian, look, I'm just going to stop here for a little bit, have some kind of like instant mash and just get going. So you'll catch me, because I'm just going to walk. And so I walked down the beach and walked up into the trails, and turned around and I could see Christian's kind of head torch kind of on the beach. And I thought, oh, yeah, he won't take too long to catch me. But I think Christian had, like, his hip was getting worse. And so by the time he caught up to me, we were kind of like probably near the climb up to Mount Clare.
Yeah.
And then we were just kind of chatting and working our way up to Mount Clare. And then Tim passed us. So, like, we were standing still. Like, he goes, "You guys okay?"
No, obviously not.
We went, "Oh, yeah, no, we're okay." And "Yeah, you look good." And he just went. He was off. Like, he only stayed with us for a few seconds, and we thought, "Oh, yeah, it was the last time we're going to see that guy again." And then we got up to like Mount Clare, and he got a little bit lost. Like, there was just a little deviation in the track up near the campsite at Mount Clare, and we woke up all these campers who were like sleeping in the middle of the night, and like Tim was down in the bush. We could see this head torch, and I yelled out, "Is that you, Tim? Are you a competitor?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's me." And so he came back up, and we kind of like worked out how to get to the aid station. And so we all got to the aid station, and then like Christian had to sleep, and like my wife started strapping my knee, and then Tim said, "Look, I'm off," and I said, "Look, good luck, mate." And then I kind of hobbled down to Walpole.
So you hadn't had a sleep by now, had you?
No,
yeah, okay.
I never sleep. Christian was a bit tired, so I thought, look, Christian will probably catch me. But as it turned out, I think his injury got worse as the race got more advanced. And so I guess from that point forward, like, I was just taking it easy, got down to Walpole, sun was just coming up, it was 6 a.m. or something like that. And then my wife, she really did a great job of strapping it at Walpole. And so I felt like I could just kind of, cut out some Ks, got up to the Tingle Tree, and then it started getting better and better throughout the day. So I guess in the afternoon, the pain didn't go away, but I was running. Like, I felt like I was running. And I knew, like, Tim wasn't that far in front, because I'd come across people and I'd say, "Oh, we just saw this other guy." And then I'd be rolling into an aid station and they'd go, "Oh, Tim just left." And so I thought, "Oh, he's not that far away. I thought he'd be hours in front." And so I got to Conspicuous Cliffs and I still didn't see him. And then left there at about 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I might be able to see him when the sun goes down and the head torches start coming out. Still didn't see him when I got around to kind of like, what was the next place? Peaceful Bay? I think it was Peaceful Bay.
Yeah, Peaceful Bay. And then you go on to the jet ski after that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, geez. Got around to there and he was in bed. And he was pretty, I think at Peaceful Bay, he was pretty crook. And so he was asleep. And so left there, basically got on the jet ski, jumped across the other side, got lost.
On the beach.
The jet ski people would say, "Where do I go?" Because like there's no one else in front of me.
I was going to say, you have no footsteps to follow off that beach.
There's no footsteps. So like, so I was just, I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, they said, "No, go that way." And so I went that way and sure enough, I got onto like where I should have been. And then I was running along there for a little bit. And then I guess the next one was Boat Harbour, wasn't it? It was Boat Harbour?
Yeah, Boat Harbour is after Peaceful Bay. Yeah.
I was having some good hallucinations around that time. Like I thought I saw penguins and like dogs and lots of people talking to me and music and stuff. And then as I was coming into Boat Harbour, I saw this massive kangaroo on the trail, like it was right in front of me. And I thought, are you real? Is this a real kangaroo?
They are out there, so I reckon it was real.
Yeah, it was real. It hopped towards me and came past me. And that was a bit freaky. And then I guess the next day I ran by myself. I got to the 100-mile, one of the 100-milers came past me in the middle of the night. Oh, wow. He was the guy who went out really hard. He didn't win the race. He came second.
Okay.
And so that was nice just chatting to him. And having a good convo just in the middle of the night as you do, and had some great conversations at the aid stations. Like I remember at Mount Clair, like on that first night, talking to this lady who had like just done Arizona Monster.
You talked
Like
to Harmony,
must
I
have been
reckon. Yeah.
yeah.
She
But
did.
everyone in there was like on the same wavelength,
Yeah.
and it was like pretty surreal going halfway, across the world, like talking to these people at
Yeah.
4 a.m. in the middle of the night
Yeah.
about ultra running, and we're like all on the same wavelength. It was
Yeah.
really, really cool. And then
Gorgeous.
like another fun aid station, I guess, was like Zoe's up at Treetops before I went down to Conspicuous. Like she sent out a runner. So they must have been looking at me on like the computer, seeing where I was. And so this like guy comes running out, this young fella, and he said, "What do you want to eat? Like,
Oh,
here's what we've got." And so I said, "Okay, I'm going to have some porridge and a cheese toastie." And he texted that through to Zoe,
oh
and then
no.
Zoe's mum was there, and then they were there. Everything was ready when I got to
So
Treetops,
cool.
and it was like amazing.
It's
So I was,
like what is it? Like trail runners run through, rather than a drive through, you're having a run through.
I know, it was next level. It was amazing.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And then when I was running down to Conspicuous, Charles came out to meet me.
Oh, Charles
And
is
like he was
lovely.
really neat to talk to as well. And
He's
then
so good.
he was so good. Like
He
he
gave me a
touched
gin
me.
and tonic though, so I bet you didn't get one of those.
Oh no. But did you sit in a special chair which kind of tilted back?
Yep.
Had you,
Because that's
oh,
where we retired. So we got lots of special treatment from
oh yeah,
Charles.
yeah, yeah.
We're a bit
Yeah,
lucky.
what a cool guy.
Oh, he's
Like,
lovely, Charles. He's got Tasmanian relatives that I already knew before I met him, by the way. He keeps telling me about them. I'm like, yes, I already know. I already
oh
know
wow.
them. And a runner here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Ash, if you're listening.
yeah. And he
So
said, look, my brother's going to be round at the next aid station. I think it was his brother at Peaceful Bay.
probably I didn't get that far. But yes, I know that his brother is
Yeah,
also part of the
yeah,
event. So probably
yeah.
was.
They had a
Yeah.
good chat to him as well.
Yeah.
And geez, where'd we get up to? I guess, oh yeah, Monkey Rocks was probably the next aid station, and that like stood out for a couple of reasons. I guess like Felix took me over and
Mm.
back,
Oh,
and
that's nice.
that was just really nice, just running with him and talking to him,
Mm.
and just like we would stop and talk to anyone that was on the trail. So like Felix he was like super positive, super happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's
we got up
Felix.
to the top, and it was just this beautiful day, and like we even sat down at the top and we were just looking around and chatting, and then I looked at my watch and I saw we like had 20 minutes to kind of get down to the van.
Bus.
And so like I did this mad dash down to the van and just snuck in time, like with
Oh,
a few
wow.
minutes to spare. But like just chatting with Felix was pretty cool. And just really appreciated him running me across.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he'd do that.
The
And
whole
then
community's like that.
oh, the community's so strong. Like their connections, you could see the connections amongst the people there were so strong.
Mm.
Um,
And that they embrace outsiders who come in and play as well. Like those
yeah,
of us, like you and I, who come from the eastern states.
yeah,
Yeah, they just if you're prepared to get in there and play, you're part of the family.
yeah, yeah. I remember Charles saying something about like getting a message from Big Kev, and he was going to run out to see Big Kev, and I said to Charles, "Who's Big Kev?" And he goes, "You don't know who Big Kev is?" And I went, "No, I don't know who Big Kev is. Who's Big Kev?" I was imagining this like he was either going to be really, really big or like really, really tiny. There was going
Yeah.
to be no kind of medium-sized Kev. And it was like really neat to meet Big Kev at the end of the run and just like listen to all his wild stories.
So
And
he's tall, but
yeah.
big personality.
Oh yeah.
Funnily, he rang me today.
Oh yeah.
He did. He wants to know whether to move to Tasmania or not now he's retired. So,
Oh, he should totally do that.
I know. I think he should too. I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We'll have two homes, like one in Tassie,
I
one in
know.
WA.
Best of both worlds.
Oh yeah, that'd be a dream.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you get on the bus. Do you have a nap
Yeah,
on
get
the
on the
bus?
bus, get
Have
over
you
to
had any
night.
sleep? Did you not sleep at all for the event? Is that what you said before?
I didn't sleep.
Was that
Yeah.
on purpose or
No, I just
was
didn't
it?
feel like
You just
sleeping.
didn't
Like
feel
I've
like it?
lain down at other races and
Mm.
like you can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep personally. So I thought, look, I'd factored in for 3 hours sleep. And
Yep.
so if I was sleepy and I needed to sleep, I would have slept.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't feel the need to sleep. I felt tired, but had I like lain down, I wouldn't have gone to sleep.
Did you take caffeine or anything to help yourself with the tiredness? You don't do any of that either?
No, like I don't like I'm
Stimulants.
adverse to caffeine, so I don't have like Coke or tea or
Yep.
coffee. Like if I had a can of Coke, I'd stay up all night. So yeah, like it seriously affects me.
Wow.
So I had some like my nutritionist said to have some Revies on me. I didn't use them.
Mm.
Like in hindsight, on the last night, I probably should have had some.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
but I ended up like at Nullakai getting out of the van and running with another guy.
Yeah.
He was the third place in the 100 mile. So
Hmm.
he was really neat to run with that afternoon and throughout the night. And then we made good ground. We got to lowlands and then I don't know, the next part down to Cozy Corner was about 24K. And
Hmm.
like I was really looking forward to like a long stretch where I could just like go
Yeah.
for it. And so
Wow.
yeah, we kind of just yeah,
You just went for it.
solid. We were solid. Yeah. We got to Cozy just on sunset, and that was our goal. And we said,
Mm.
look, let's just get in here, just have something quick to eat and get out because it was getting cold.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so we did that and we got out and
So
then
when you're at the aid station, just before you go on, are you eating the food from the aid stations? Is that
uh,
what you plan to do?
sometimes like I certainly had 2 helpings of Renee's slow cooked lamb at Rocks. I mean, that stuff changed my life.
Wow. That's
That
good.
that was probably the best lamb I've ever eaten.
Wow.
Um, but
Oh, you
anyway,
are a New Zealander. That's probably why you like the lamb.
oh, I love lamb.
I don't mind lamb either.
I
Okay.
love lamb. And that was just, and I know Big Kev loved it as well.
You
So
did.
we were talking about it like after the race and the dinner. Like, how good was that lamb? Who cooked that lamb? Anyway,
All
apparently
right.
Renee had mango chicken the like year before, which was
Oh, the mango chicken was so good. That I had the mango chicken. I will tell you, it was great. That was the number
uh,
one. Mm.
I wonder if she does requests.
I don't know, but it sounds like mango chicken and slow cooked lamb need to be on next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right. So
know.
so so you quickly grab a bite in
Yeah, grab the
Cozy?
bite. Like I was probably just eating instant mash mostly and toasted sandwiches. So we had like a jet boil. My wife would just make up an instant mash.
Okay.
It was a really good combo, just putting some like soup in with instant mash and
Yeah.
just stirring it up.
Oh yeah.
I'd eat as much as that as I could, and then like between aid stations, I'd just have maltodextrin in my water,
Yep.
and then that was more than enough energy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
I didn't feel
amazing.
like I was lacking energy.
Hmm.
Got to, geez, where was the next place? Cozy Corner. Left Cozy Corner. Okay, this is
Gases.
interesting.
Did you get
Um,
lost around the headland?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
me too.
completely lost.
And
So
so did JP. So did somebody else I speak. Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
won't I won't get
Ryan,
lost again though. I didn't get a chance this year.
well, I was talking to Scott Bunny, and I
Yep.
think they're going to like do a workaround. I don't think they're going to go through there again because I think too many people have just been lost in that zone.
They just well, it's the map. The GPS has people going over the top. It
Hmm.
Everybody goes around the front.
Well, it was dark. I didn't know there was a front. I didn't know what
Yeah.
was in front of me. I couldn't see like
Hmm.
there was a headland. I didn't know. I just saw the GPX file on my phone, followed that, got
Right.
lost. Yeah, called Scott Bunny. Scott said, look, get your compass out, turn to 100 degrees, keep on going until you kind of like get to this kind of drop down onto a sandy track, go down there, get out onto the beach, turn left and go. So that probably cost me about an hour and a half, just like, because I was like completely knackered. I was like crawling. Like when he said, just go at 100 degrees, I was like scrambling over bushes. I was crawling under bushes. It was like I got to get out of here. And it was really thick bush.
That's no good. That's no
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So that was like, that wasn't great. And Dom must have gotten through there because I'd stopped. There was a little stream before that. I took my shoes and socks off, got to the other side, put my shoes and socks on, and Dom had kind of worked his way up into the bush. And I didn't exactly see where he had gone, but I thought, well, if Dom's gone up through there, I'm going up through there. He had, as it turned out, when I caught back up to him, he had gotten lost in there as well,
Yeah.
but had managed to find kind of like the same kind of like sandy drop-off road section and up on the beach. But by the time I caught up with him, like he was a long, long way ahead of me. And so I had got his number off race control and texted him, and we started texting each other, and he kind of slowed up. And so I eventually caught up with him. Had he not slowed up, it would have been pretty difficult last night because I was tripping over and I was having lots of hallucinations. So he helped me kind of through that. He'd stop and just say, "Look, you okay, mate?" So yeah, it was. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So because it was a pretty kind of, I wouldn't say a lonely race, but
that second half in particular is like quite. You don't have
the second night. The second night, I pretty much since 4 a.m. on the first morning when Christian went to sleep, I'd been running completely by myself for quite a long time, like the whole of the second day, the whole of the second night, halfway through the third day, and then met Dom on the van to Nullakai, and so from Nullakai onwards, we were kind of like partners. So yeah, it was really good. I kind of anticipated like being in a different kind of zone. I thought I'd just be around quite a few runners and I'd just be like running with them.
That middle of the pack that you were thinking.
Yeah. I thought, people would be passing me, I'd be passing them. There'd be lots of conversations like there are in kind of most trail races. So I wasn't kind of anticipating just being out in the front. But I'm okay. I was okay with it. Like I quite enjoy my own company, and I just got in the zone.
What were your hallucinations?
What everything,
sort of things?
like everything, just you name it. Like if you saw a shape that looked like a dog, it was a dog, and it was just on the edge of like, your torch. It was where the dark met the light, and you just couldn't make out the shapes. So yeah, it was going on.
It was. Some people say like they love their hallucinations. I think Glenn last year had like fairy lights, like Christmas lights, just lining the trail. But other people have sort of more scary type of ones, and then others just sort of, they're not scary and they're not funny either. They're just kind of, like you said, a shape that looks like something else that kind of throws you off for a minute. You're just like, oh, what?
I know. Like I stopped to have a pee just off the track, and this is in the middle of the night. I turned around and there were two people there, like two walkers, like looking at me. And I looked back at them, and then I turned around and I ran off. And I was thinking for a long time, were they there? Were they real? And they weren't. There was no one around. But that bothered me. Like they were so real.
Just plays your mind, doesn't it?
Plays on your mind. So I wouldn't say any of the hallucinations were like great. But yeah, got through that. I was thinking about like that product. I'm not sure if you've been using Ketone IQ.
No,
where it's
I don't know
supposed
that.
to like improve your mental capacity and your thinking ability, like deep and ultras. And I was thinking about the role that they might play, like in future events. So I was thinking maybe over the next kind of 12 months of just playing around with those just to see if they made a difference, like deep into a long race. And maybe, the presence of caffeine. So, yeah.
That's where those Rennies that you had, the
the
caffeine tablets
Revies.
may have helped out Revies.
Yeah. But anyway, the last night was like it was pretty good running with Dom. Like he guided me through all the rough stuff. And like when I got to Shaz's, I was kind of so mentally kind of shot. I thought we were in a town.
Oh,
I didn't realize we're still like on the track in the middle of like the
still
bush.
about
I
12
thought we
Ks or
had got
something
to
to go
like
or
a
whatever.
small,
Yeah.
I thought we got to like a small settlement and I could like see houses and like we're
Wow.
in this kind of like cafe type situation. Um, yeah, that's how out of it I was.
Freaky.
Yeah.
So
And I
you,
thought from Shaz's, we were just
yeah,
like running along a road, like until the end of the race. I didn't realize it was still on the trail.
still had
Like until
trail.
I
Yeah.
started like tripping over. Um, yeah. So that was interesting.
So then, I don't know, you probably haven't listened to the podcast, but the guy who came third last year, I think, second or third, Craig, he's from Melbourne and he didn't really have any sleep either. And he surprised himself by where he came, like to podium, and some of his hallucinations as well. He said that was the the worst. He's going to come back again next year, I think, and try and get his second plugger, which I'm sure he will. But
Yeah.
one of the things he wants to do is work out how to manage the sleep deprivation side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting. Like it puts just a completely different facet on the race. Like
yeah.
you really do have to think about how you manage decision making and
Mm.
whether or not you use a pacer and the role that your crew play just in the last part of the race when you really are fatigued is like super important. And like as the race progressed, like D became more and more attuned to like my needs and what I needed. And so like I guess every 12 hours we're doing a protein shake. And then because it wasn't too hot, I wasn't really taking in any electrolytes. But once every 6 hours, like she'd give me like 500 mils of electrolyte.
Mhm.
So I'd have that. She was ready with the instant mash. She was
Yeah.
like all over the soup. So it just came down to like just a few kind of basic repetitive type things at each aid station, charging stuff,
Mm. That all
getting in the
important
food,
charging.
topping up the maltodextrin, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So, but at the start, we weren't quite sure how it was going to go. So, um, we just refined it over the whole time, and then like it became apparent that my wife wasn't sleeping either, and so she was like driving around the countryside. She didn't know where she was
Worry
either.
about
Like
that.
even though I gave her this
Mm.
like driving plan, you don't really know where you are.
You've not been there before and it's dark
I,
a lot of the
I
time.
know.
So,
And she's like in this massive camper van,
mm.
which I insisted that we have because it had a shower and a toilet. And I thought,
Oh, it is massive.
yeah, like a bed. And I thought, we're going to need those three things. And it turned out neither of us used like,
The shower or the toilet during the
yeah,
race.
yeah. And I didn't use the bed. And so, and it was kind of like rattling around on all these gravel roads. And then my wife she gets fully into things and like she wasn't sleeping. And I was telling her when I was getting to an aid station, look, you got to sleep. You got to sleep. And she was telling me like, are you sure you should be sleeping? And, anyway, we stopped having that conversation after a little bit. But yeah, I realized it was pretty demanding on her,
Mm.
not knowing where she was. And there weren't a lot of people out with me, so she wasn't driving around with
Yeah,
any
there's no convoy type thing going on for
no
her.
convoy. And
Mm.
so um, she really appreciated like linking up with Dom's wife.
Mm.
And so they got together like on the last night and they were kind of driving around together and talking
Yeah.
and then we got to the finish line and that
How
was
did you,
really
how
that
did
was
you
really
feel when
cool.
you got to the road and you had to turn left? Maybe you didn't know that the finish line was like 200 meters right, but you had to turn left and do another 4K on the road.
Um, I guess,
You probably
I
didn't
mean,
read much,
I
did
don't
you?
dwell on those types of things. Like, I don't let, like, if you dwelt on those things, they can really get you down. So I try and stay positive and kind of even and calm throughout the race.
Yeah.
I guess I was just happy to be near the end of the race after getting lost and being injured and getting through everything. And like, I knew by that stage I was well out in front. And so I could just walk it. But Dom and I, we just jogged it out, jogged it back, and it was fine.
What time did you finish?
It was 2 days, 19 hours, and yeah, 30 minutes.
And how many hours is that in total?
That's 67 hours, 30.
So this is a guy who went into it thinking, around 80 hours?
Yeah, about 80. Like we said at the first day station we got to was Chesapeake East, I think it was. She goes, like, you're 3 hours in front of your spreadsheet. And I went, oh, okay.
Oh,
So, you know, um, but I wasn't like, I don't, I'm a firm believer in like listening to your body, listening to your
yeah.
legs and like adjusting on the go. You got to, like
Apart
some
from
periods of
sleep,
the race.
you don't
Yeah.
listen to
Some
that
periods
part.
you have to slow down. Some periods when you're feeling good, like between like lowlands and cozy, we just kind of like were cruising through
Yeah,
there. And some like the second night I did a lot of walking
yeah,
because I was just getting sick of spider webs and being on my own sort of like for a bit. And so getting sick of the hallucination. So I just like slowed down and I just walked for
yeah,
like a few Ks and that was
yeah,
fine as well. So, but it was really good to have like the planning there for my wife and for something to kind of hang the race on.
yeah.
Like we couldn't just hang the race on nothing. So we
Mm,
had to have some kind of plan, even though kind of
mm.
like the plan went out the window after
After
the
the
first kind of
first.
40K. It's still we had a plan, but like next year, um, we'll modify the plan, but it might be 35 degrees next year.
Yeah,
And so, that plan will go out the window and you'll have to
yeah.
modify that.
Every year it changes.
Yeah.
Like they actually change the course, it feels like every year.
I think they are changing the course
They
next year.
are, exactly.
Yeah.
And when I did it last year, it was different as well because the parks had closed the first part and we had to do a little out and back for the first day. Like I didn't do that first bit last year that we did this
Yeah.
time. So yeah, and then another year they had some water year they did it differently again because
Yeah.
then something had happened. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it
how are you
often
doing
changes.
about like next year in the race and your preparation and
I'm excited.
good?
I'm really excited. It's cool to have a DNF, and I've spoken about it plenty of times on the podcast already, as an experience. Like it's not at the time; it was pretty devastating. I'm glad that Nicola and I did it together. It was lovely to spend 200 kilometres with her, so we had 2 nights out there together. And I feel like if I hadn't DNF'd with her, it would have been harder for her. The DNF would have struck her even harder. That is not why I DNF'd though. Like this is only like me in reflection thinking about it. Like if I'd gone on, I feel like I possibly could have gone on. But then we often think that, don't we? Later, like what if we could have done this, we could have done that. My toes were pretty shot. I've lost 4 toenails, including degloved both of my little toes as well, as a result of swapping shoes with Nicola halfway through 2 sections so that she could have some relief because her feet were so bad. And my shoes were wider. So her narrow shoes also knocked my toes around as well.
My word.
Yeah.
Is Nicola going to do it next year with you?
Nicola is going to do it next year. She is not going to do it with me. She is going to do it fast. So part of her issue is going at my pace, which is middle of the pack, out the back somewhere, depending on
Yeah.
what I'm doing at any given time. I'm
Yeah.
also, going through a bunch of hormone things which cause my energy levels and all sorts of stuff going on with my body. And I also have lots of iron issues. So my energy is a big thing for me
Yeah.
through an event like that to tackle that. Whereas Nicola is, 32 and full of beans and, both of us actually, our muscles felt great. So we're well trained and we could have, like they felt fine. So for
Yeah.
me, it was energy and my feet were pretty crap, but Nicola's, it was just only her feet. Everything about, she would have gone on if it hadn't been for her feet.
I know there's always one thing.
I know it only takes one thing. And as you said, it
Yeah.
can cascade over that when you're doing something for days, not just for a day.
Yeah.
You can't, she already had put it up with it for a day and a half until it became so excruciating that she was crying every time she put a foot down. So, and
Yeah.
she's very tough. So it takes a lot for
Yeah.
her to crack. So,
Yeah. No, she made the right call. Well, you
oh
guys
yeah,
both made the right call.
yeah.
It's just too far to go. Like
And
you
I knew how far it was to go because I'd already done it before.
I know. And you got to have good feet.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So your feet were fine. Did you
Yeah,
have any
feet
issues?
were good. Yeah, feet were good. Like most of my toenails are kind of off now or
Yep.
getting ready to come off, but like I didn't have any
Pretty normal.
blisters, so I don't really touch my feet. I don't change socks or
Mm,
shoes or anything like that. Like
okay.
not unless I really have to.
Yep.
Not unless it's like really, really wet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think some people are just blessed with feet that will just
Yeah,
need to put up with
like I've
it.
got it. Yeah, some people have like I feel for like the people who really struggle with their feet. Like I did have problems with a big toenail and I just had it removed. Like so I don't have that big toenail anymore.
Wow.
So that was causing me quite a bit of grief on downhills.
So
So I
where do you
just
put toenail polish on it now?
there's nothing. There's nothing. It's just kind of all kind of smooth. It's a bit weird.
That is
Um,
funny. You could, I'm
yeah.
sure. I've gone into like the nail bars and got a pedicure, and they've put nail polish on their no nail toes
Oh,
before. They
really?
just kind
Oh
of
my
they
goodness.
go, oh, and I'm like, it's fine. Just put it on there. Nobody will know. They'll look down and it looks just like
Oh no. I'd
there's a
be too
nail there.
embarrassed to go to a like pedicurist to get my feet done. They're terrible. They really are.
Yeah, it's
But
quite
like,
funny.
yeah, blisters, no, pretty
No,
good. So yeah,
that's
I put on a
awesome.
little bit of like cream, the Happy Toes,
Yep,
Squirrels Happy
I've got
Toes, and
some of
then
that.
some Creepers, and then
Yeah.
like I always have wide kind of shoes. So I normally run in speed goats, which are pretty wide and forgiving. So
We think for Nikki, it was a mixture of having her feet taped. She's never had them taped before. She thought there was something rubbing. She did complain about it. We didn't listen because we're parents and we don't listen when our kids complain. And then and then running at a different pace and her shoes. So there's three things, and her shoes are a bit narrow, which is fine if you're only running for, even up to a day. Your feet can put up with it. But if you're running for days,
yeah,
with narrower shoes. That's not good. And then as I said before, the gait that she would have had to be running and is not her normal gait, having
yeah,
to stay with me. So
yeah, yeah,
all of those things.
yeah,
You're going back to no. First of all, I wanted to take you across the line. So you crossed the line,
yeah. Across the line.
obviously.
Yeah,
How?
Sean
What
was
time?
there.
What time of the day was it?
That was 2:30 in the morning. So Sean was there. My wife was there. Dom's wife was there. Dom came in after me. So like there was kind of like five of us there. Yeah.
And that was
So
it.
that was pretty neat actually. Because in some trail races you get across the line, there are heaps of people there, clapping and stuff. But like this was like the opposite of anything like I'd done before in terms of like races and finishes and stuff like
Everything.
that. So yeah,
Everything was the opposite.
it was pretty neat. It was
That was
pretty
one of Big Kev's big pieces of advice to me last year, because he did the podcast with me last year. And that was you need to make sure that you cross the line in the daylight because there will be people there. so,
yeah, yeah, maybe.
so he thought that was funny. And then I accidentally crossed the line when they were doing presentation. He goes, "Did you do that on purpose?" Not only were the people
Yeah.
there, but everybody was there to
Oh,
presentation.
that's yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. That's a good idea.
that was kind of funny too.
Yeah, because JP came in around like
Yeah,
present.
yeah, exactly.
That was
Yeah,
so neat. Like having
it
that
was.
like medal presented to him and
It was really cool.
yeah.
He's planning to come back and do a big. He wants to come back next year too. I probably told you that.
Oh, good on him.
He would like to come back and get it plugger. So you just implied you're going to come back. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I checked out the school holidays and they seem to line up at this stage.
do.
So yeah, I'd love to.
That's awesome. Hopefully they
Yeah,
don't in Western Australia, so we can still go into the that tourism place, the tall timber place. That was
yeah. The
so good.
treetops.
Yeah, the treetops was
Yeah,
great last year.
yeah.
It was quite annoying just to kind of run through it looking like a dead city at nighttime when I went through it this year. I was like, oh, this was kind of where I slept last year. Had a little nap.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
hopefully.
And the tinkle tree. I would have loved to have seen the giant tinkle tree, but I didn't get to see that either.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're huge. Just amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, feels like all we do is talk about Delirious. I'm glad. So are you going to look for other 200 milers out there in the world too? Or are you just going to come back and crack Delirious again and see if you can do a bit of
Like
sleeping?
I loved Delirious. And so I don't know if you can hear my dog at the moment.
No,
She's
I can't hear him at all. Or her at
having a
all.
little bit of a cry. What are you up to?
Oh. You're like, okay.
So yes, I will be back next year. I've kind of looked around. There aren't too many like 200 milers around the place. And so like most of them seem to be in North America.
They do.
I'm not really super keen on going over there.
Why is that?
They said for like for Cocodona, but none of them sort of line up with like my school holidays or anything like that. But yeah, so like Delirious is it for the time being. Like I'll do some smaller trail races around the place, around Queensland, and I might do the Ultra Adelaide 100 miler. So I might do that kind of in a year's time. I might go down there and do that. But yeah, I don't have anything major on the horizon. Yeah.
So you touched on before. I just wanted to have a quickly ask you about it. You said you've been running in Europe.
Oh yeah, I've done two races. Like I did Lavaredo last June in Italy, and that was about 120K.
Yeah,
That was beautiful. I'd never been to Italy before,
Italy's
and
lovely.
so that's just a big, beautiful country. Man, I'd love to go back there.
I recently found out I'm a quarter Italian. I thought I was an eighth. That's why I said that. I'm actually a quarter. So there
Oh
you go.
wow!
Yeah, and I have spent some time in Italy as well.
Whereabouts have you been?
I haven't been running in Italy. Well, I have just ordinary running. 4Ks here, 5Ks there. We took our three younger children away and travelled for 18 months. So we did a lot of Asia and a lot of Europe in that time. So we've been all over those places. Yeah, it was. And that's where it was handy having a teaching background.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I did UTMB. That was in 2023. So that started in Chamonix. So finished in Chamonix. So I did that.
Lots of people.
Oh yeah, that was like just a trail running Super Bowl. That was amazing. Just being around trail runners for like an entire week.
Yeah.
So that was nuts. So and UTMB was nuts as well. Just immense. Like in terms of like the physical challenge. It wasn't so much a mental challenge. Not like Delirious, but it was a huge physical challenge. What else? Last year I did a couple of races in Hong Kong. So I did the Hong Kong 100 in January, and so that was a pretty neat race. That's probably the largest trail race in Hong Kong.
Is it hilly?
Oh yeah, it's very steep. So lots of going up, going down. Lots of going up, going down in Lavaredo and Europe, and anywhere in Europe's just steep. And I had quite a few like GI issues last year and vomiting and diarrhea. So that's why like I went to see Erin Colbatch and she's kind of sorted that through. So that really affected the Hong Kong 100 and Lavaredo. I didn't really enjoy the whole experience, and I wanted to enjoy the whole experience. So she like put together a program for me for last December. So I did the Hong Kong, the North Face 100 in Hong Kong. And so that was mid-December, and that was another kind of steep race, lots of up, lots of down, and got my nutrition right. So that was a really happy race for me. And thought that was pretty awesome. And like I was using that in preparation for like Delirious, because I wanted to test out a few things in terms of eating and drinking. And what else have we been up to recently? I guess the main races I've been doing recently.
Have you we spoke earlier before we started recording, and you said that your wife is off in Adelaide about to do a backyard ultra, the No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Which is like another event from Ultra Series. Have you done one, a backyard ultra?
No.
Do you want to do one?
No.
Good job.
I don't know. Have you done one?
Yes, it's horrible.
What did you find horrible?
I shouldn't. I don't really mean that. After being a race director for one as well now, I think I'll be back again in Melbourne next year. For me, it might be that I hate being told what to do. I'm quite like, if you tell me to do something, I'll do the opposite. Like I just don't, So that idea of you're running. So say the first little while you're feeling good. You want to just keep running. no, you have to stop. Like you finish your 6.7, you've got to stop. I'm like, but I don't want to stop. I'm feeling good. Like I just want to keep going. Anyway, so you stop. And then someone's yelling at you, get in the corral, get in the corral. And then later on, after you've done a few laps and you're starting to get tired, it's like, yeah, but I've only had 5 minutes rest. Well, I don't want to get back in the corral. It's kind of all of that. And it just, it's brutal. Like I admire the guys who stick it out even for, 10, 15, 24, et cetera, 119. Well done, Phil. Hours. It just, and then the sleep. And I didn't even get to the start. I did 10 yards here in Tassie, because there's one in Tassie now. And I love the social nature. I love the egalitarianness of it, a bit like parkrun. Anyone who even does a tiny bit of running can go out and do 6.7 at the start of every lap or every yard. You're with everybody. That's awesome. And you can communicate and chat and the fast runners don't just shoot off. Depends on what their strategy is for that yard. They can hang around and chat with you sometimes. It's just kind of, it feels fun. There's kind of festive. But at some point it stops being that and starts being, stop telling me what to do. And then I assume once you layer lack of sleep on top of that, I just like, I don't need to do that. I had enough lack of sleep being a race director for one, let alone actually doing the running part of it.
Yeah, you'd have to have like a special type of makeup to cope with trying to get that tiny amount of sleep each.
Yeah, you couldn't even just like lie down when you had all the time in the world. If you wanted to, you could have had like a 2 or 3 hour sleep at Delirious, and you had a van to sleep in. It's not even like you had to find a quiet place.
I know.
I know. It's amazing what a little bit of sleep would do too.
Yeah.
When it comes to recovery.
Tell us about, holy moly.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know about the backyard ultra. I just don't like the idea of just running the same loop over and over again, I think.
It's a different challenge.
Yeah, it's not what I run for either. Like I just run for I run more for adventure and getting out and seeing beautiful things and like seeing sunrises and beaches and beautiful forests and talking to people. And so I don't really feel the need to do just that like institutionalized loop.
Yeah.
It feels too much like school, like the bell ringing every hour. You know what I mean? It drives you nuts.
You're sounding a bit like me now, Chris.
Yeah. Like I don't want that. Like in my free time, I don't want to have a bell like telling me I need to stop running. I need the opposite. I need quiet time, no kids.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just be doing stuff out in the wild, if you know what I mean.
For me, running's a lot about freedom as well.
Mm.
And it's kind of the opposite of, it feels like the opposite of freedom. I know that, depending on how you look at it, there is some stuff you could do with your head and that challenge, and that's the exploration. But I kind of, at the moment anyway, this season that I'm in, it's all connected to my body, what's going on with my body. And as you said, that exploration of my body going through space and exploring what's around that next corner, like that's, to me, quite wondrous, and I'd like to do that rather than, as you said, going around the same thing over and over again and then being bossed around a bit.
Yeah. Oh, look, I respect those people who are going out there and doing it. It's something I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they are amazing people.
It is incredible. So what's your wife hoping to get out of it this weekend, especially after she had the broken leg?
Yeah, I know. Like, I just hope she enjoys it. Just hope she enjoys it and she comes home happy. That's all I'm after. I don't care how fast she runs, as long as she's
DNFs.
Everyone DNFs. Like, I think it's going to be a good mother-son type thing for them to do. I think it's going to be really good for my son because he's like fully into his running as well.
That's awesome.
He hasn't really done any crewing in the past, so it'll be good for him to like be looking after his mum's needs and it'll be a good thing for those two to do. Like I was thinking about going down, but like my wife said no, like it'll be great for Casey, my son, to do that and look after her. So it'll be good. It'll be good for them both.
Well, it sounds like fun. It might be a regular
Yeah.
thing. They might turn into like
Yeah, it might
father-son
be.
duo. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I don't know how much longer. I know Casey's got another year in Adelaide, so I'm not sure if he's going to stay there or what he's going to do. But yeah, if he does stay there, it'd be a really neat thing to do.
Mm.
Yeah,
What does he study?
he's doing like food science
Oh yeah.
at Adelaide University. So he's interested in like developing like sports nutrition type products.
Wow.
So yeah, and he works at Run DNA in the holidays. So he works in the warehouse. Yeah.
Well, he could be, it sounds like a bit of a sports nutritionist as well going on there.
Yeah, he's really interested in that sort of thing. So, and it's a growing industry.
Oh,
There's so
absolutely.
much we don't know about
I
nutrition.
know. I always say on the podcast, or actually everywhere, we've been with this body. You're a scientist. We've been with our bodies for as long as there's been humans. The body has been there,
Yeah,
and we've studied it to infinitum, and yet we don't even know a small part of what's going on in our bodies. Not just
we
the
don't.
brain, which is a mystery to all of us, even
I
just our
know.
bodies and how the systems work. It's crazy, isn't it?
I know. I know that we need sleep though.
Really?
But
When did you learn that?
like after the race, my wife said I got into the van and I'm not even sure if I took my shoes off. I just kind of collapsed on the bed at the back and twitched around for a little bit and then just fell asleep in my race gear.
Did you camp anywhere, or did you just camp? Like,
No,
was that at,
we were
at
just
the
at the finish line.
yeah? So you just slept there at the finish
Yeah.
line? Yeah.
And then got up. I think got up when Big Kev came through and then went out with Carrion. So Carrion came third. I'm not sure if you met Carrion. She did the race last year. So we went out for breakfast in town and just caught up, and that was really nice. Just talking to those two about their experiences.
Yeah.
And they were running together for a little bit there, and yeah, they were both really, really nice people. So I'm really happy to kind of catch up and share some time with them, and hopefully, like next year, I can run, a few Ks with them and just have some chats and yeah, meet some different people. So I kind of feel like I missed out on a bit because I didn't run with too many people. No, I didn't plan it to be that way.
No, it just happened.
And I kind of, got to the end and there weren't too many people around. And so, yeah, but it was good like the next day, like seeing people.
Yeah, I was going to say you were at
And
the
catching
finish
up with
line.
Nikki, your daughter, she was really interesting to talk to. And Gabe, like after watching his videos, they certainly inspired me.
Wow.
Like I still go back and watch them, like because I didn't see any beaches. Apart from conspicuous cliffs, I didn't see any beaches.
Because it's dark.
And yeah, it was dark the whole time. So I almost spent 2 days just running through the forest, and then the nights were just running along kind of, I guess, cliff tops or
Yeah.
but I couldn't see the ocean. I could hear the ocean. So I went back through Gabe's videos when I got back, and I thought, oh wow, that was the beach. Man, I wish I could have seen that.
Well, you know what to do next year, don't you, Chris?
Yes. Yeah.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Or
Slow
sleep a
down.
bit, or choose to sleep a bit.
Sleep a bit. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice.
How has your body recovered?
Yeah, I spent like a couple of weeks off, just doing nothing, just eating food, getting sleep. And after that, just slowly got back into it. And yeah, I've been fine. Like I feel pretty good now. Like I've got a little race next weekend down at Magnetic Island. So that's just a little 21K trail race. I'm going to do that. But yeah, I'm fully recovered. Like I'm feeling pretty good again.
So up there in Cairns, do you run with other people, or are you mostly running by yourself?
Sometimes I get out to some group runs. Like there's a couple of group runs each month, but mainly I'm just out there with my dogs, just running around. Yeah,
just running around in circles and obviously
trails. Like so many places to run here. It's just it's pretty crazy.
You love it.
Yeah, it's great. Like during the wet season, it's not so bad because like right now it's cooling down and there's less rain, and you can generally just, it's a good running temperature. But like in the height of the wet season when it's hot and wet, like I'll go up to the Atherton tablelands where it's a lot cooler and hit up into the Heaven Range, and there's no leeches or anything like that up
Yeah.
there. Just let the dogs off, and it's pretty good.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah, it is quite good.
Do you run with anything in your ears ever,
No,
or
I don't.
you run
No, I
without things
just.
in your
Yeah.
ears?
No, I'll listen to a podcast. Like I love Dan Snow's history podcast. So I
Mhm.
learned a lot about like European history and all that sort of stuff. So um apart from that, like yeah, I just kind of like the quiet.
Yeah, just zone out a
Yeah.
bit. Mm.
Yeah. It makes a nice change. Like when you deal with like 5 classes a day, you know what it's like being a
I
teacher.
do. Yeah, I
It's
know what it's
just
like to
nice to
have kids around all the time.
I
Having
know
five
it's just
kids.
nice to it's just nice to like not talk
I
and
know.
just chill out and just have some quiet time.
It's funny, before we hit record, we were talking, and the both of us are actually home alone. And for me,
Yeah,
it's very, very rare. In fact, I don't remember the last time I was home alone for any period. And yet, so what do? We get on a podcast so we can have a talk to
yeah,
someone.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's been a
funny.
great chat.
It has.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't believe all the stuff we've actually covered.
well, I haven't finished, so you can't go yet. Just wait a
Ah,
minute. I know it's bedtime, but because this is a nighttime recording, everyone.
yeah,
Because you work during the day at school, and neither of us wants to get up too early. Um, I wanted to ask you a little bit, like, have you always thought of yourself as a runner, or even do you think of, like, these are just the normal questions I would often ask people in the podcast that aren't really just about Delirious. As an identity question, do you think of yourself as a runner? Have you always thought as a runner? Because like, running seems to have been a part of your life for most of it, from what you've said.
yeah, I guess so.
Mm,
Like I've always considered myself to be a runner.
mm,
Like I don't feel like I want to do anything different with my time. Like if I've got a spare like couple of hours, I just chuck the shoes on and
go for
I
it.
guess, yeah, I'm a runner.
Do you ever?
I don't own too many bits of non-running clothing, put it that way.
I know.
So like
Looking at my t-shirt drawer is, yeah, it's very
yeah,
colourful.
I know. It's all just old race t-shirts and
That's
like the
right.
garage is full of running shoes and like
Oh my gosh.
the dog's running, son runs, my wife runs. It's just a running household. So yeah. But I can see your medals behind you hanging up
It's
there.
just a couple. I had to
Yeah,
do
I know.
something in the background. It was like, what do
So
I do?
many. My
Couple.
goodness.
It's just a
Yeah, I
couple.
can tell you're a running household as well.
We are. I made because I've been running with the local Launceston Running Club since I was in my 20s, before most of my children were born. In fact, I joined just after Nicola was born. And they all had to come to the running club. So they have mostly, apart from one of them, have all done 100 runs at the running club. So
Wow.
because we run 20 runs a year. So, but I would
Yeah,
make them come, and it was, a bit like some people make their kids go to church. My
yeah,
kids had to come to running club. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
that's just a thing in my house. I
That's a pretty like we had that experience as well. Like when we're at in Cambridge in New Zealand, we're all running together. And so when you did a handicap race, like, my wife, my son, myself would like slowly come together on the finish line. That was a pretty
yeah.
cool experience, actually.
That is the running club that I have helped run here since I was in my 20s, is a handicapped running club.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you know what that means.
yeah,
Some people,
yeah,
they think we're
yeah.
just a bunch of people in wheelchairs, but
But that's a pretty special thing to share with your family.
it is, yeah. And I have raced against my boys a couple of times. And I've got a really nice picture of, because I got to start. This is only about 4 or 5 years ago. I got to start before them, and because of the handicapping, and they were both. I crossed ahead of them, but they were both like literally and we were literally racing for that line.
Yeah,
They were trying to
yeah,
catch me, and I was trying to stay away. It was,
yeah. Go, mum.
yeah, it was like it don't happen again. Anyway,
Yeah.
unless they get a really good handicap right at the back. Um. Anyway. Oh, seeing as what do you do when you've got an injury? I know you actually did mention earlier, like, how does it, and this is kind of a question around identity again, like when we tie ourselves to stuff, like as we all do it, to stuff that can be taken away, like, your wife hurt her leg and it
Yeah.
just happens. Like, what do you
Yeah.
do? Like, how do you deal with that kind of stuff when you can't run for a while for some reason?
Like I'll cross train. Like
Yep.
I've got an indoor trainer, so I like using that when I'm injured. Like I love getting on the bike when I'm injured. Like
Yep.
it's really neat. Swimming, I'll do that. So love swimming as well, but not as much as running. Like
Yeah.
I can bike, I can swim, but love running. So I'm
What's the
okay, like going for like a month, 6 weeks, 2 months,
Mhm.
just to bike and swimming, and then getting back into running slowly.
So you've got that moving happening.
Yeah.
What is it about running, do you think, that sets it apart for you?
Um, well, I guess I'm a firm believer that I guess God gave me the gift of the joy of running.
Mhm.
And so, you know, he had that plan, and I guess he knew that, man, you're going to love this. You're going to love ultra running. And I guess I just feel like it's part of my DNA.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
totally.
something like I'll never get away from. Like it's something I enjoyed immensely as I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think if you enjoy something immensely when you're a kid, you know, it's all about, that part of your nature it's part of your kind of being and your
Mm.
soul. And it's something that you'll always go back to.
Mm.
Um, so yeah,
I love that. I mean, you said it's part of your DNA. I'd almost argue that it's part of everyone's DNA, which
yeah,
is so it's a shame that we haven't all got those positive attributions that have happened when we're children, so that we
yeah,
can bring that through into adulthood. So I do. Obviously, I had a great time running when I was a kid,
yeah,
and obviously you did as well.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think
So
I think everyone, like the kids that I see at school, they
mm,
all have a gift,
yeah,
all of them.
mm,
Like they might not realize what it is right now,
yeah,
but as an adult, you can see it.
yeah,
And it's about kind of like nurturing that, steering them in the right direction, and getting them to realize that, hey, this is something about me that's really cool, and I need to just keep building on
yeah, yeah. I love that. I did want to say, do you have another hobby?
it. To
Do you
have
have
another
do you
hobby.
have anything like other hobbies? Not just a
Yeah, like I love the garden. Like we've got a pretty
oh,
neat garden here in like Cairns because everything just grows so
growth.
fast.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So like we've got a mango tree, an
Oh
avocado
wow.
tree.
Oh
We've got
yum.
Yeah, like we've got like about I guess a third of our property is just tropical rainforest,
Oh,
and the
that's
other like two-thirds is a relatively new house. So there's nothing kind of planted here. So
mm,
we've just been planting stuff, and everything's just going like
nuts.
amazing, just in terms of the heat and the rain and all that sort of stuff. And so like yeah, you don't really have to do much to maintain the garden. You just kind of like need to cut it and make sure it's growing in the right
Yeah.
direction. But yeah, I love gardening.
That's awesome. Gardening is good, especially the
Yeah,
garden with all those vegetables. So do you have a little bit of land as well?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We've got veggies. We've got like yeah, the dogs can run around.
Yeah.
It's good. Like it's yeah. So we're pretty rural here, and it's
Yeah.
very quiet.
Yeah.
Like very quiet.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you? What are your hobbies?
Oh. Oh, I don't know that I have any other hobbies these days. I seem to have a podcast. That's a bit of a hobby,
Yeah,
but it's connected to running. So,
yeah, yeah.
so that's kind of funny as well. I love reading and cooking. I procrastinate, which I've talked about on the podcast before.
Procrastinate.
So I
Yeah,
go through periods where I'll bake a bit and cook things. That's probably another reason I have to run so much, because I like to bake things from
yeah,
time to time. I love travel. And I love hiking and exploring, like a lot of those kind of things.
yeah,
I like adventurous stuff, like getting out. I don't really like heights that much, although I love the view from the top. And I'll climb to the top of a mountain. I get a bit nervous if there's a big drop off
yeah,
and there's nothing between me and the drop off. I'm okay if there's a fence or something, but yeah,
yeah,
if there
yeah,
isn't. So pretty normal hobbies probably for
yeah.
a runner. Thank you for asking, Chris.
Oh no, that's fine.
I don't think
Yeah,
anyone's asked me what my hobbies are.
yeah.
I like finding
But
out everyone
you
else's.
seem very busy. Like
I am
you've
stupidly
got
busy.
you've got a coaching business as
That's
well.
right. I do. I've got
How's that
4
going?
coaching people at the moment and another person thinking about it. So that's exciting. That keeps me a
Yeah.
bit busy too. And
Like
it's fun.
what races are they training for?
Well, the point of my coaching is you don't have to have a goal that is like a race, but a couple of delirious people, got some people who might want to do delirious in the future. Yeah, for me, it's more about fitting running in in a way that makes it just part of your DNA, as you said before, rather than it being another thing that you have to fit in and then you feel it gets pushed aside when life happens, instead making it, and then you feel guilty because you didn't do it. Instead, we do it in a more free kind of way where if you get to run, that's great. If you don't beat yourself up about it. And, next time we'll do this, this and this. So it's adjusting to what life throws at you rather than being too rigid. So it's trying to introduce lots of that kind of flexibility into running plans instead of them being too strict and rigid. And
some of them are pretty strict and they don't really develop that love for running.
No, because it becomes a job, I think.
Yeah.
For lots of people as a result. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's running for busy people, actually. That's what I like, because I think everyone should run. And
everyone should run. We're born to run, like as the book says.
Exactly what the book says. Yeah, without our shoes on. What are you talking about? I'm not.
I know. I'm not game to try that.
I have tried it, but I'm not very good.
Have you?
Yeah. I tried everything. I'll have a go at almost most things for a little bit.
Oh wow! How did that go? Like running without?
I am impatient, which is another reason I have to teach other people to be more present, because I also need to be more present. So if you want to do barefoot running, it's definitely possible, I think, for most people. You just need to do it slowly. So you don't just suddenly go out and only ever run in bare feet. You have to introduce it slowly. So they'll tell you to even take along your shoes with you and swap out back into your running shoes after, a K or whatever it is, whatever your intervals are going to be. Otherwise, you'll end up hurting your feet, which is kind of what I did, because I just all or nothing. I'm too impatient. I didn't want to do the whole swapping thing.
Oh, really? Just like you got straight into it.
Yeah. I'm just a barefoot runner now.
Because we all learn to run with bare feet.
We do, but then we very quickly get used to being shoed. Our feet.
I know. And it really does change your gait and your foot stroke, and just changes the whole style of running, like running in shoes.
Yeah. Actually, our feet are amazing. Just the amount of muscles and bones and ligaments and things that are in there. It's a surprise that we stand up as long as we do, because we abuse them a lot. I mean, as long distance runners.
Yeah, we do. Far out.
It really is worth looking after them. Anyway, sounds like an ad for podiatrist. It probably is. You need to go do something about it. Now, before we wrap up, a couple of other questions that I always ask. If running hadn't become a permanent part of your life as it is, Chris, what do you think you'd be missing? What's it giving? To put it in a positive way, what's it giving your life that you wouldn't have if you didn't do it?
I guess there's lots of lessons that I learned through running. Like I always tell my son to run his own race. It's the only advice I give him these days. Just run your own race, and I think that's what running has taught me, just to run my own race. It's great to listen to other people's ideas and opinions, but at the end of the day, it's your body and your legs that have to get you across the line. And that's so much like life. I mean, you can listen to other people's ideas and opinions, but it comes down to the pace at which you want to move at and the decisions that you want to make along the way as to how you're going to operate yourself as a human. So I'm a firm believer in just, running at your own pace and doing that with life as well. I get lots of kind of these questions from year 12 students who just want to know what they want to do with themselves.
Yeah, of course.
So, I try and get them to identify like areas of their lives that they really enjoy doing. Do they enjoy talking to people? Do they enjoy being outside? Do they enjoy exercise? Do they enjoy being with computers? And it's quite interesting. Like you can go through school and not even think about all of those types of things that you enjoy. So what's another thing that running, I guess, has taught me? I guess it's taught me that like to go through life, it's not just about you. Like if you want to run something like Delirious, a 200-mile race, it's not an individual thing, it's a team event. And it's just like life. I mean, with Delirious, you need support crew, you need like a coach, you need physio advice, you need nutritionists, you need other runners, you need aid stations, and that's pretty much the same as like life. You can't go through it by yourself. You have to help other people, and you have to let yourself be helped by other people.
Yeah.
So you need to kind of connect with people, because that's where all the answers lie. So they're probably the two things that running's taught me the most. Yeah.
I love that.
That's a great question. Like, how would you answer that?
I see what you're doing there, Chris. You keep doing that now. Throwing it back at me.
That's a pretty deep question.
Running has, for me, this is what happens when we do it at nighttime, guys. We can do all kinds of crazy stuff. For me, I think I've said a lot of times it saved my life. Like at one point when I gave birth to Nicola, I was 100 kilos, so 99 kilos when I was 26 or whatever I was, 25, just after having her. So I started running straight away. And that was it, because I'd been a runner as a kid and in my teens, and that was what I knew. So I went back to running. And then I had an abusive marriage, and running really helped me get through the strength, like gave me a lot of strength for that. And then my oldest son, who's a couple of years older than Nikki, he's great now, but he went through a really tough period with drugs in his teen years and early 20s. And again, if I hadn't been able to go running and process what was going on in our lives, I don't know. It was driving me crazy. You know, as any parent knows, when their kids are going through stuff like that, and sort of it's really challenging, any challenging time in life. But I say that running helped me do that. So to encapsulate all of those things, to me, running it's given me a space, and it's made me feel stronger and made me feel like there isn't anything that life can throw at me that I can't deal with. And then during COVID, Simon had cancer as well, and I ran a lot during that period as well. I mean, I run a lot anyway, but running really helped me deal with what was going on there as well. So for me, it's my space to go process life. And as a lot of people say, people like you and I and other people I speak to on the podcast who do ultra distances, we're all working through stuff. That's why we have to keep running so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. So it just makes me feel like there isn't anything I can't do or deal with in life. So I can't imagine life without it. If I didn't have it, then like you, I would probably take to my stationary bike or, the other things or go swimming more. I would do something physical. I would need to move in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
To deal with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We all deal with stuff from time to time, don't we?
We do. Yeah.
All right. Running is a good way for some of us to deal with that stuff.
It is. Yeah. It's certainly a lot healthier way than other things you could choose to deal with the life, the harder times of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You didn't expect that, did you? That'll teach you. That'll stop you asking me the question.
Last time I asked you a question.
I know. Stop it.
Yeah.
Now, at this time of the actually, one last kind of trivial question. Not trivial, but how long do you think you'll run for? It seems like a really silly question to ask you, Chris.
As long as I can get out the door and put my shoes on, I'll be running. I've got a friend I run with. He's in New Zealand, but he's coming across in September. He would be 78, and he did his last kind of 100K maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
So like Fred's a legend. Like he's an inspiration to me. Like when we go running, he will just talk and talk and talk, and he can remember from when he was like 16 years old, his split times for doing it 3K, like on a Wednesday night down at the local track. He's just this incredible man. And like, yeah, he like, he's just incredible. So he's an inspiration to me. Like I'll talk to him about anything and he'll try anything. Like I'll say, hey, Fred, let's try these new running shoes or this new kind of nutritional product or this gadget. And he'll be like straight on board.
What?
and he's like so young in his mindset. It's just so refreshing to be around like someone like that. And he was like texting me before the race and trying to call me during the race. And like previous races I've been in, like I'll ring him up and like we'll be talking to each other during the race.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And he rang me like quite a few times in this race, and so did a lot of other people. But I was just so focused, like, and so tired, like I couldn't process doing that. So I didn't like talk to anyone. It was just me and my wife for like 3 days. But after the race, I got back in touch and had a good long chat with Fred. But like he's just so super.
He sounds amazing.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. And so, you know, he gets out and he runs every day and he loves running, and he's just like my hero.
Oh, we all want to be like Fred.
We do. You know, and there are so many people who just love Fred, and I really miss Fred. And like, yeah, it's going to be neat. He's already been over. Like, did he come over last year? No, he might have come over the year before, and we like had a runcation. And so like we just going around all these kind of like trails and national parks and stuff, and like he got a bit tired, but we had a time. I know. Like, yeah, I kind of forget that he's kind of 78, but yeah, he is slowing down. But man, he's so strong mentally. Like just to think about like doing 100K and you know, at his age, yeah, it's incredible.
I love that. So cool.
Yeah, I love it too. Like, and I think to myself, like, I'm 54 now. Like, I've got another, I don't know, like Fred's 78, so here's another 24 years.
Oh,
like, we could be talking to each other for like the next 25 years, Michelle.
And the rest.
I know. So what's stopping us?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Betty Menzies, I've had her on the podcast a couple of years ago, and she's 80-something. She's in Brisbane. She doesn't run like long distances, but she does 5s and 10s and stuff. But so, yeah. She's at least 80-something.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember how she is.
I just love spending time with Fred because he just loves telling stories, you know, and he's just got so many stories about like his wife and his kids, and his wife died like was it last year, beginning of last year, which was a real shame. So he's, you know, he has been struggling, and I've been really feeling for him like over the last year. But just, you know, just all the history and like just the stories are just incredible. So like
it's keeping him vital too. Like the sound, like running is obviously part of his life, and it keeps
and he lives like this. He lives like a trail runner. So he's got a house, but he doesn't live in the house. He lives in a camper van. And so he drives around like New Zealand visiting all his mates and just doing trail runs. So he's just like he's like a trail running version of surfers, you know, like New Zealand surfers, like you were describing earlier. Yes, I know. And so he'll like go to this like place, like he's down in the lower North Island at the moment, and he's just got this local legend for this Strava segment somewhere down there, and he's like hammering all the trails down there, and he's just like, he's loving it. So I just can't wait to retire and just like be like him one day.
Be like him. I love that.
Yeah, be like Fred.
I love that.
I know.
So good.
I know. We all kind of need someone like that in our lives.
A top. Be like Fred.
Yeah.
We should start that. We start a movement. Yeah. Be like Fred.
I know.
Right. Well, Chris, I've kept you forever, and it's a school night.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle.
Not a problem for me. Is there anything about running we haven't touched on that you would like us to talk about before we wrap up?
No, not really. I can't believe all the stuff we've been through. It's just been like this huge deep dive. Like,
it's good, isn't it?
Into
so good.
Everything.
That's awesome. I love it. I love learning about
feel
people.
Like you know more about me than most people know about me.
Oh, soon they'll all know about it because we're
soon we'll be up there.
That's right. Everyone's going to know it.
Like it's funny, the kids at school, like how they process like my race and the questions that they ask me, and like they don't understand like why I ran 340 Ks. Like
Yeah.
them will say,
Yeah.
congratulations, sir. But like some of them will say, why did you do that? Like this kid asked me today, like, what did you get? And I said, oh, I got this quokka, which is this little stuffed toy, and then like a finishing medal and a
I
thong.
thought,
And then they went, did you win any money? And I went, no. And they went,
no.
well, what did you do it for? And it was like, oh, where do I start?
It's so
So
good. It's such a big answer, isn't it? That
it's a huge answer.
it is.
But a few of them have gone, oh, you're just like David Goggins.
Mm.
Like, so that's interesting.
That's
They know about
a
David.
relatable type of thing for them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't really kind of tune into what David Goggins is doing these days, but like
Mm.
they're obviously doing that.
Bit too
Um,
hardcore, but but it's still
yeah.
it's a
But we're
gateway
kind of
drug
like
to
in the
the.
same zone. But yeah, and even the staff, like I guess they've had trouble processing it as well. I think some staff just don't know how to kind of talk to me anymore.
No,
Yeah, they don't. They're kind of like
they
some are
can't
like,
relate. They
oh man,
can't
that's
relate.
great, and some of
Yeah.
them are like, oh,
What?
that's great, but like I don't get that.
But
So
but why?
yeah, I know. So yeah, it's been interesting. It's just been interesting, like seeing the responses to
Mm.
to that, and like for some of the kids, they might have some questions, and I'll answer them. And like my year 12s were like fully invested.
Yeah.
Because one day Sean rang me up when I was in class. I was teaching my year 12s, and he wanted some information about like who I was and stuff. And I said, okay, this is who I am and where I'm from and stuff. And I said, oh, say hi to my class. And then he's like put him on speaker and he said hi to my class. And then I had to like talk to my class about who this person was.
Yeah.
So then they kind of like, because they knew I went to Italy last year, because I talked to
Mm.
them last year about like Italy. And then I said, oh, look, I've got this race coming up. And then they were like, oh, sir, man, we got to follow that. And so like when I got back, they were like so happy. And we had like a class party. And
Oh,
well, we
wow.
actually, we
That's
that
really
was,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool. So my year 12s kind of get it.
They're
And
dot watchers.
yeah, yeah, they were neat. They was like super, super happy. And yeah, it was cool to kind of share that with my year
Yeah,
12s.
it's
Yeah.
inspirational. You have no idea how that will help them or affect any of them in the future.
No, you
But
don't.
it's only going to be positive. There's nothing negative going to come out of it. And then I
No,
love that for them. It's so
I
good.
know. I know. And some of the girls I taught like a few years ago at the girls' school, they're off trail running now.
That's so,
Like,
see?
and yeah, and I follow them on Strava, and it's yeah, some of them, because we'd talk about like trail running and stuff, and now some of them are out there actually trail running, which is really neat.
That's so good. I love
It is
that.
so it's
It
so good
really
because
is.
you plant seeds with kids, and you just don't know what that kind of grows into and when it
That's right.
grows.
Yeah.
That's one of the beautiful things about teaching.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I thought was the beautiful thing about being a parent as well, was
Yes.
the same kind of thing. And it's not even what you say, it's what you do, which is what you also demonstrated. It's not just you standing up there teaching, it's what you're
Yeah.
doing with your life and sharing with
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Right.
The last thing is, do you have any tips for runners to stay motivated? What motivates you to keep moving, Chris? And would that help anyone else?
Oh,
Do you have times where you don't feel like getting out?
no, I always feel like getting out. I guess just doing things that involve you getting out, like on the trails and experiencing nature. Like even if they stop and go for a walk, like and they see some birds and they're in the fresh air and they're in some trees. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think people did that in COVID. Like
Yeah.
people were out there walking around with their families in COVID. Now we don't see that anymore. And I just think just being outside doing something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And
True.
I guess if people can kind of work that into their daily lives somehow, some kind of consistency, some kind of routine, then that love will start to grow for like being outside and exercising. It doesn't have to be running, but just being outside and spending time in nature, I think, is a beautiful thing, and
You're a bit
certainly
grounded.
it's really healthy. And and contributes to someone's well-being, like mentally and physically.
Yeah.
And, people just need to just give it a go.
Yep. Just put some shoes on and head out the door. What's the worst that's going to happen?
What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
That's right.
You get lost.
Yeah, well, you got lost and you still got out of it.
Yeah, I'm here now, thanks to Scott Bunny.
That's right. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. Oh, man, I thank that guy. Holy moly. Jeez.
He was also responsible for Nikki's feet, for highlighting that we needed to get Kat over to have a look at them, that they were a bit more serious than just a blister. So thank you, Scott, again. So
good. When I was talking to him, I thought he was in Perth.
Oh.
Like, I think someone I was talking to in race control said they might have been in Perth. I don't know. But anyway, Scott
was the people in race control are. But yeah, Scott was a race director on course.
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, he was on course.
He was amazing.
He has also been on the podcast. If you want to know more about his interesting life and his running journey,
really?
You can look up Scott Bunny, the podcast.
I will. I'll listen.
Last year I spoke to him. Very interesting. Another long call. We had lots to talk about as well.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he seems to be very knowledgeable.
He is. Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad he was on the other end of that phone. Like, I was having a mini meltdown. And just kind of like, he was just really calm and said, look, turn this way, walk over there. Okay, you're out. I know. And I was like, holy moly, I'm not going to get out of here. And he goes, you're going to get out of here.
That's right. You totally are.
And that's all I needed to hear. Thanks, Scott.
Oh, he's amazing. Shout out to Scott. All right. Now I want to do a big shout out to Chris. Massive thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing so much of a school night. I really appreciate it. Not to mention, massive congratulations for your delirious journey and adventure and getting lost and not sleeping and still winning. So well done. What an awesome thing to do.
It's been just so neat to like talk to you just about my life and about the race. And geez, it feels like it's only been a month, hasn't it? I know, but it's still really fresh in my mind, like what was going on. Like, I replay a lot of it, like from, especially getting lost and running with Dom and it still feels really fresh. So I'm really looking forward to next year's event. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it differently. I'm just going to turn up and see how it goes.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
It'll be fun.
It's always fun either way.
Yeah, but thank you so much for inviting me on the podcast. It's been lovely talking to Michelle and getting to know you. And like, I felt like I only had a limited amount of time to talk to you, like on the Sunday. And Nikki, it was really nice meeting Nikki as well. She seems a pretty neat person. And good luck to her next year as well.
Yeah, well, we'll all meet again over in Western Australia.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Try again.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, Chris, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to the ZenRUN podcast. I hope today's chat left you feeling just a little more inspired to move in your way and on your terms. If you've got a running story you'd love to share, please reach out. I'm always looking for real, relatable stories that help remind us we're not alone, whether it's a big goal, a quiet win, or simply why you keep showing up. I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to share it. Plus, if you're curious about the ZenRUN Club, come take a look. It's a low-key space with guided runs, simple training plans, and monthly challenges to help keep your running fun, motivating, and totally stress-free. Until next time, keep running, keep breathing, and keep showing up for yourself.